700 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I think everyone should be allowed to read the Bible, even peasants, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been denounced, shouted at, and eventually no platform. 200 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I don't believe in God, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been ridiculed, yelled at. 100 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I think a man should be allowed to have sex with another man, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been booed, hissed at, no platform. So when today's student leaders clamp down on offensive stuff, they're actually carrying on a very long tradition. A tradition whereby the creme de la creme of British society take it upon themselves to police the parameters of acceptable thought and to exclude offensive-ness from the academy.
Need to say it's not okay. This hate conversation was not their intention. We understand that jokes are jokes, things are things, but at the end of the day, if it's promoting hate and it's promoting discrimination, you are directly a cause of it if you're allowing it to happen and you're not doing anything about it, and that goes for anyone in this country.
Throughout history, the church, politicians, universities have always branded certain ideas offensive and have waged war against them.
Yet, you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood, with your empty words.
Today, student leaders do the same. They carry out one of the oldest, foulest forms of intolerance, intolerance of anyone who gives offense. But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential. Humans have long had the urge to offend against the natural order, the religious order, the moral order, and in the process, they have pushed humanity forward.
A person that comes here and has crowds that go further than any eye can see, there's nobody that can see the end of this crowd. That's not somebody that lost an election, and now because of it, our country is being destroyed.
In fact, pretty much every leap forward in history, pretty much every freedom we enjoy is a product of individuals having given offense.
It costs twice as much to fill my truck up with gas. It costs twice as much to fill my cart up with groceries, milk, bacon, everything's more expensive. You want to add on to your house, that's all more expensive. That's a direct result of Joe Biden messing up the supply chain.
Having offended against the orthodoxies of their age. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. I know what some student leaders will say. Oh, but our no platforming is about protecting individuals. We only want to protect women from misogyny and black students from racism, so our intolerance is progressive. Please, how progressive is it to say that female students are so fragile that they can't cope with seeing a pair of tits in the sun? No, without falling apart. That doesn't sound progressive to me. That sounds paternalistic. How progressive is it to say that black students need these wise, white student leaders to protect them from harmful ideas, because that doesn't sound progressive to me. That sounds neo-colonialist. The fact is, today's student leaders aren't protecting individuals, they're protecting an idea. And it is the most mainstream status quo idea of the 21st century, the idea of human vulnerability. The poisonous notion that humans are fragile and therefore our speech and our relations must be monitored and policed. It is this misanthropic, orthodox idea that they promote and which they protect from criticism as surely as priests once ring-fenced their beliefs from ridicule. In this choking climate, we have got to move beyond talking about a right to offend. We have to talk about a duty to offend. Anyone who cares for freedom, anyone who believes that humanity only progresses through being daring and disrespectful now has a duty to rile and stir and outrage, a duty to break out of the new grey conformism, a duty to ridicule the new guardians of decency, a duty to tell them, fuck your orthodoxy. The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good.
Wait, I just happened to get the special ed Wookiee. They got the Wookiee beta version.
My God, 3 hours, 8 minutes. Hey, Sam, you wrote a book.
Oh, I did, and I haven't even promoted this entire show.
I know. I just thought of that because we're fucking promo geniuses, me and you, Sam.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We're ahead of the curve. See, the idea is we build up 3 hours, 8 minutes, and then boom, finally hit them with the ad that they've been waiting for.
And folks, you can purchase Night of the Vigilante in paperback, Kindle edition,
which confirmed gives you infinite
audiobook. Yeah, it'll also piss off cat ladies on Amazon who.
True. And the side effect of that, Sam, I don't know if you knew this. The side effect of you buying it is that it pisses off the cat ladies, and then the cat ladies being pissed off by you increases your testosterone production, which in turn makes your dick bigger. So what I'm saying is if you read Night of the Vigilante, you will have infinite IQ points and a bigger dick. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm selling books.
Absolutely,
nothing's wrong, Maxine.
That's a powerful
absolutely
not
right there. Absolutely nothing in this case, Maxine. He's speaking straight facts.
I'm just speaking the truth. So tell him about the book that'll give him bigger dicks and bigger brains.
So you can buy Night of the Vigilante for the low price of $11.99 on in paperback.
$12, Sam.
To
enlarge both the brain and penis organ.
Could you stop that?
What a deal!
Indeed,
this is a steal.
Can't stop it, Maxine. It's
also,
we're gonna lose our ass, Sam. How can you charge so little for this?
Well, I mean, you can also subscribe to Rumble Premium and support Right to Defend Media. So,
or follow this channel so he can get content creator. Guys, if you watch any of our stuff, you watch this show, help this show out.
Yeah.
Like, follow, comment, subscribe, and all that gay stuff that they say all the time. They say it all the time because it works. Ugh. If you want us to stop
really
not saying that shit, you can just do it. I'll stop, I promise.
Yeah, also,
I'm not that dumb.
I believe Rumble now has the ability to like repost other people's videos on channels.
Yeah, I've been reposting, and then you can repost the repost, and then I'll repost your repost of my repost, and then you can repost that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Maxine Sand from Right to Offend Media. This is the top 10 most peaceful moments of the peaceful riots from LA. Coming in at number 10, we have some clearly very, honest, hardworking people out here waving Mexican flags, harassing young Trump supporters, saying they got no bitches. It's very peaceful, as you can see. There's nothing you would be worried about. Here we have number 9, and what we have here is this a lovely, peaceful woman over here. She's being talked to by a police officer, and she peacefully punches him in the face, with a right and a left, to which she's peacefully hit by the other officer there and taken into custody. Number 8, we're coming in here hot with rioting and looting. That's right, we have rioting, we've got looting. As you can see here, most of them getting away, they're dropping the goods. Now, see, this guy here is dumb because he just won't drop the goods, and that's why he's going to jail. Oh, man, you really should have rethought that. If you'd have dropped the goods, maybe you'd have got away. But here you are, getting your ass beat. You hate to see it. Completely peacefully, by the way. It's completely peaceful. Everything here is peaceful. It's a peaceful, loving protest, and that's all we have to see. Number 7, most peaceful moment. What we got here is...
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police.
Peacefully throwing bricks at police? I mean, what's more peaceful than that? That's the definition of a peaceful protest, as we all know, when you throw bricks at cop cars and cops themselves. Number 6, coming in, we're getting a little more peaceful here. Here we have throwing an explosive at a young black gentleman's car, which blows his fucking hand off, as you'll see in a moment, completely peacefully. He's peacefully missing multiple fingers, and he peacefully got his car blown up, and it's just so peaceful and loving. Don't you love to see when that kind of thing happens, And he couldn't get any help, of course, because they were peacefully blocking all the ambulances. Number 5 most peaceful riot moments. This one's a personal favorite of mine. She's screaming, "I have babies" in the car, to which they pull her away and steal her baby. So that's great. That's the kind of peaceful thing you do, is you kidnap babies. This is very peaceful and loving. Number 4 peaceful moment. This came about earlier last night. This peaceful gentleman here just trying to peacefully protest, and have a peaceful day with the police, and somehow that fat meth head got away. So there you go. He was peacefully running away after peacefully punching a couple cops in the face. Number 3 most peaceful moment clearly has to go to the peaceful time where they peacefully assaulted the prison bus and then tried to run over multiple police officers peacefully. So as you can see, the piece here is very peaceful and very, very loving and friendly and empathetic, of course. And as he, attempts to run over cops to break prisoners off a prison bus peacefully, with peace and love, compassion for all. And, that's what you have to have. We need these people in our country to bring this kind of peace to us, so that we wouldn't have any kind of peace if not for this. So I think it's very cool of them to bring this kind of peace right out in the open on the streets. Number 2 most peaceful riot moment. We're getting a little more peaceful as we go, if you notice. Pelting officers with bricks again, only from an overpass. So this one is multiple counts of attempted murder from dozens of people, peacefully. Peaceful attempted murder, of course. As everybody knows, this is the definition of what is peaceful right here. Right in front of you as they peacefully break up concrete off of the road and peacefully throw it at the cops. And so we come to the most number one peaceful moment I've seen so far in the LA protest, right outside of the famous Dale Donut shop, is this gentleman peacefully shooting his pistol at police officers. I mean, what's more peaceful than shooting cops, right? That's very peaceful. And so I figured we'd end with some peaceful wombats. This is mostly fucking peaceful. We're supposed to talk about video games, Sam.
Yes, well,
have you heard this? Have you seen these? They're these things that you play on a screen. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Right? And you get this little thing, they call it a controller, and it's got all these buttons on it. And if you manipulate it with your fingers, it moves the stuff on the screen.
Well, I don't have any gaming news for this week, but I did discover a few good
You
indie
just
games.
no-sold my retardation so hard. I love it. Good job.
I did discover a few indie games, which, Max, I know that you're a big indie game guy, and
that's right.
I'm starting to become a big indie game guy too, just because, if nothing else, the economics of it, because most indie games are actually like more...
You get a lot more mileage out of the game than you pay for it. That's what you're saying.
Right. You can go and pay for the sandwich, like pay for the price of a sandwich is like $5, and then you can go in and play that for like 50, 60 hours.
RimWorld. Okay, RimWorld's one of those rare games. RimWorld is like $30, Sam, and RimWorld never goes on sale really. And there's a couple of equally priced expansion packs that are like $20 to $30. However, for that price of admission, RimWorld will give you thousands of hours of content if you get into it. And it's made by one dude. That's why it never goes on sale. He knows what his game is worth. Also, the other thing is, he doesn't care if you pirate it, but if you pirate it, you don't have access to the mod forums.
That would also mean like Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress is well, that one you can get for free, but now it's on Steam.
Like, if you want to play a great game, Dwarf Fortress is Space Station 13. Oh gosh.
No, don't give me that shit. First of all, Space Station 13 barely fucking runs on any modern.
I mean, we have Space Station 14 now.
Second of all, that's not a great game. That's a torture simulator.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
I was gonna say Project Zomboid is probably my king of all indie games.
True.
We just released Build 43 on the unstable branch, as well as Build 42 on the stable branch. And once the multiplayer servers go up. So, Sam, if you have never, I'm not sure. I think it's not on any console. It's a PC only game. Project Zomboid is top down, but it's like super realistic simulation of a zombie apocalypse.
It's in the middle of Tennessee, like right nearby there, along with Fort Knox. Like,
and it has like systems for everything, systems for every part of your body, the health of all your limbs. There's a cooking system that's super complex, fishing, farming. Like you could basically build a whole base. You would do whatever you would do in a zombie apocalypse, essentially, and it just keeps getting better. So shout out to Project Zomboid. That is like the indie game worth getting. That and RimWorld. Since we're just doing indie games in general, those are like pinnacle. If you get either one of those games and get into it. Now they're not for everybody, okay? But if you get into either one of those games, you're guaranteed hundreds to thousands of hours of good, fun gameplay. So tell the story. One thing I did when I was 18, shout out, he says, Joe Fish in chat says he was in high school, 1998. I was 2002, okay? And I, went to the gathering of the Juggalos 2002, and I was at the center of a riot involving breasts, Sam. Breasticles. You know, the chest thingies, the females, they got them?
Yeah, the things that, yeah, more than I love.
The mammary gland?
The mammary gland, yeah. So, this girl, I know, like they're internet guys, they're like, what is that? So there's these things, they're real pretty, and they'll go out with you if you're nice to them. And they're called girls. You got to go outside, get off the internet because there's no girls on the internet. Sam, have you heard about this? Did you know this? There's no girls on the internet.
I did know that.
Oh, no, there's no girls on the internet because you're never going to get laid on the internet. So it might as well be true. Don't you understand?
Well, I don't have to get laid on the internet because I.
Well, we didn't meet on the fucking internet. That's why there's no girls on the internet. Don't you understand? Anyway, she's never been on Fortune. There's no girls on the internet. So you're never going to find one of these mystical creatures. So what you got to do is you got to go
outside.
Yeah, there's this new MMO, guys.
It's called fucking life.
And if you queue up, it actually starts not on your computer, but there's this new game system. They attached it to the front door of your house. And it's an MMO, and it's called Outside. And I swear, guys, like it's so immersive, the UI, that it doesn't even have like any on-screen meters at all that measure your statistics. Rather, you get feedback in real time, Sam. Like if you lift something really heavy, you can feel the progress, but it's slow progress, Sam. It's in real time. Did you heard this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
That's the thing. If two crippled guys with personalities can get fucking
and have sex, yes.
There's no excuse for an able-bodied male to not get sex.
Oh, with each other. That sounds bad. Never mind. I should have muted before I said that out loud. I'm drunk, Sam. My bad.
But as I was saying, if two crippled guys with personalities can find women, there's no excuse for able-bodied men to not find women.
Now I'm going to be fully honest about that though too, and I'm sure more. Well, I don't want to speak for more.
Motherfucker, make me channel Spice Girls and shit.
And I'm going to stop by you there, Sammy. I'm going to be fully transparent. I'm not the most experienced, but I have experience. So, yeah.
I mean, that's because you went and you signed up for that new MMO thing, right? And it's cool because it's wheelchair accessible, guys. I mean, it's not always.
And when it's not, you jump downstairs in the wheelchair.
Yeah, and the cool part is if you call like the GM, you get to bitch at them and you can cite the rules. Like if you're crippled in this MMO, you'd be like American with Disabilities Act, and they're like, oh fuck, man.
Or if you can find two big beefy like biker dudes, they will help you.
Oh yeah, they'll help you. Okay. They gotta be burly.
Some of the nicest dudes are big beefy biker dudes.
That's true. They're real nice. When two become one. What else are we doing? What am I doing, Sam? Why do you keep letting me say these things?
Because
what's wrong with you, Sam? This is all Sam Whitfield. All mail should go to Sam W _ at
retarded.max@rtomedia.com.
That should go to want to say it to my face, bitch.
retardedmax.com.
If you ain't inf gang, you a gay bitch.
I don't want to speak for
gay fish, Max.
I don't want to speak for
the gay fish. Look, the gay bitch. Look, if you're not inf gang, okay, I have to lay you guys down the rules, obviously. If you ain't inf gang, you a gay bitch, right? That's easy. That's all there is. Now, Kanye is a gay fish. Gay fish. Sam, you wanted to talk about Bill Maher. Let's talk about Ye.
Oh, Sam, I am so sorry that I started this.
Have you heard the new Ye track, Sam?
Don't lie, Maxine. You're not sorry.
I do. Well, okay. If we're going to talk about I want to talk about something else. Let me finish my original point, and then I swear we will get to the topic. More. I want to ask you a question because people wanted to get my reaction to it, and my reaction is I'm glad
that a lot about Bill Maher tonight, guys, and you can really sit back and digest all the things we've talked about with that Bill Maher interview that was clearly the focus of this entire episode. And I think that if they really digest what you had to say, Sam, that they'll find some really wise thoughts, deep, the more they think about it, right?
It's
because our audience is so smart, Sam, is what I'm saying. Because they buy books like Night of the Vigilante the increase. Sam, I know this is not FDA approved or anything, but I saw the study that says reading Night of the Vigilante actually increases your IQ points by 5.
It does.
Did you hear this? 5 points. It's not a standard deviation. So basically, it means you're exactly as smart as you were before you read the book. But, like, you can self-diagnose a +5 because you read the book.
And you learn how to kill cartel
That's
members.
5 IQ points. Sorry. That you get to add because you read the book.
Well, then you better buy a copy, Max.
He thinks I'm gonna buy a copy. Sam, do you know what multiplicity is?
Yes.
I'm not gonna buy a copy. Why the fuck would I buy a copy and get like a ×2 multiplier? Do you know how to min-max, Sam? I'm gonna buy 5 copies of your book and read them all at the same time to an AI, who's then going to be trained to do nothing but read your book so that I can gain infinite exploit IQ points. Sam, if you read Night of the Vigilante, ladies and gentlemen, you can get an infinite IQ score, is what I'm trying to say.
See, for anyone who says that Max is retarded, he just proved that he's not, because that's
right.
a genius.
It's math. The math is there, Sam. Now, if we was to go one-on-one at Sacrifice, there'd be a 33% and a third chance of you winning, you see? But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So I got 66 and a 6% chance of winning. And you, because if we was to go one-on-one, have a 25% chance of winning because of my 75% chance, because I'm a genetic freak, like I said. You know, that puts you at 8.25% winning. But if we throw Mortheous in at Sacrifice, you take his 25.5% chance of winning, because if we was to go one-on-one, you divide that by 3, and we get 12.1% chance of Mortheous winning and 8.2% chance of you winning if we was to go one-on-one, and add 25.5 chance of winning because I'm a genetic freak. And my chances of winning Sacrifice, Sam, 157.5%, and the math don't lie. And you got no chance at Sacrifice, Sam.
I suck.
Dumber.
I suck.
Into everything you just said.
I suck at math, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't even math.
The math don't lie, Sam. You, me, Mortheous, triple threated Sacrifice, 158% chance of winning. Let's go.
I mean,
winning what?
Because I'm not normal.
Winning what?
At Sacrifice.
What do you win at Sacrifice?
I win at Sacrifice. That's all I need.
And if
what
you win
the fuck is Sacrifice?
If
bitch?
you win at Sacrifice, what's your prize?
This is the main event.
And what do the
At
others
Sacrifice.
lose?
I don't know. Eric Bischoff on a pole. with Vince Russo as the special guest referee at Sacrifice, Sam. And that, see, now she's changing the math. We got to add 22% in a third because Vince Russo sucks, right? And then you got to add, but subtract from each of you because I'm not normal, but you're normal, right? So we got to subtract from each of you 18% because that's Eric Bischoff's approval rating in WCW 1999. Sam, I'm not done. 1999, that was his approval rating when he was president because the NWO wasn't going anywhere. Let's all face it. The NWO wasn't going anywhere. They had the black and white. They had the red and white. Who gives a shit? What's the Wolfpack? Well, the Wolfpack was cool, though. They had Conan and Disco Inferno. And fun fact, Sam, they still do a podcast. Why do they do a podcast? I don't fucking know. You let me talk, Sam. And I listen to Jim Cornette all fucking day. And Jim Cornette will be like, John Moxley, you know, that motherfucker. Sam, Mort, you guys have defended AEW in the past. A spiked bat, though. And he got suplexed on it.
I can't defend AEW anymore.
Then you better turn it off now, then, right? If you can't defend the bat to the back, then you better turn that shit off, huh?
They couldn't pull it out.
Mortheous will probably have a better take than you, honestly, because he'll be like, hey, the women's division, they're super hot. I mean, wrestlers.
Well, that's the same. That's
I'm trying to misrepresenting Mort so hard right now. Is he there? Am I doing it when
Mort went to the moon.
No. Okay. Well then Sam's then.
But Mort and I would share that defense. But
your defense is that you like Liv Morgan and you don't care if she's a goth chick.
She's not a goth chick.
Right, he doesn't care if she's a goth chick. He just
she's also not my.
Not your what?
She's also not my favorite. I just don't hate her either.
Not my favorite. I just don't hate her.
Mr. Whitfield.
Okay.
Oh, no, you're letting me go. You've talked enough. Shush. Mr. Whitfield, I do believe that on several occasions you and I have conversed about WWE and Liv Morgan, and we've even discussed Rhea Ripley, and we've discussed how wrestling works.
Shout out to my boy Dirty Dom.
Shut up. We talk about how we know that it's a work, but you still get involved because it's entertainment. You don't go too far because you do realize it is a work. Now, in the past, Mr. Whitfield, I have expressed my disdain for Miss Liv Morgan, not as a wrestler, as her character, yes, but not as an actor. Not as a wrestler. I do have respect for her. But you, sir, have gone above and beyond to defend Liv Morgan on several accounts, as so far as to that you and Mortheous, who is not here to defend himself, but he was present for this and was involved, so therefore he must be mentioned.
Can I just give a quick 1 second thing that you move your hands so much that I can't? I'm too fucked up to really imitate the hand movement, but you guys like the accent and the anger, and I just want to point out that it does come with a lot of hand pointing and gesticulation.
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean,
no, I'm not done. I was interrupted. God damn it.
Yeah, and Sam never gets interrupted.
Shut up. So as I was saying, in this one particular instance, you and Mortheous, again, unfortunately he's not here, but he was present for this, had said...
I disavow.
Shut up. You're not involved. Said that Liv Morgan had dressed up as a Catholic schoolgirl.
Oh, you did say that.
I did.
Now, I had made a verbal agreement.
You don't say that to a woman.
We had a verbal agreement
with autism.
Myself, Mr. Whitfield, and Mortheous, that if they could find a picture with Liv Morgan in an actual Catholic schoolgirl's uniform type of outfit, but it had to be the Catholic schoolgirl,
which
that I would not
fetish as fuck.
Which I would not hit Max Sand. However,
and I've been hit a lot of times since then, Sam.
However, by the end of that show, the pictures that you and Mortheous had provided for us were nowhere near a Catholic schoolgirl outfit. Now, at the very last second, I will say that Mortheous popped up a picture and said, "That's it." Now, there's a big problem with this picture, Mr. Whitfield. Because as I'm sure that you are well aware and can tell very well.
This one on screen.
He's ready to defend himself.
No, actually, that is not the one that Mortheous had put up.
That's the one Mortheous tapped out on. Yeah, he said that's
that's one more had.
He tapped out.
I messed up. I got
Since new evidence has been brought to my attention, we're gonna have to put this on the bench,
And I said
we're gonna come back to this later.
No,
but still, the fact is that it took the entire show for you to find anything that looked even remotely close to a Catholic school uniform, and you were defending her from hell and high water. Everything that I said about her, you had disputed. Now all of a sudden, you are changing your tone and saying that you don't want her. I like her. Saying that it's like her.
You gotta
Sir, you are misrepresenting yourself in this very moment.
You gotta let the legal town go to town here. I have the question that can solve this.
Oh God.
Ready? Okay, Sam. When you see this picture, what would you describe the look as? And you can't say Catholic schoolgirl, right? Because that's defining it by itself. So what is the closest look you can name this to? And then I have a follow-up question, and it's equally as important. But what would you call this look, since it's not Catholic schoolgirl? Or if it is, you have to kind of name it to make it fit that. You understand? He's like, I think she's hot. Go ahead, Sam.
That wasn't what I was thinking. I was trying to
I know. I am an asshole,
Okay.
Sam. We've established that.
You do need to give him enough time to be able to come up
What
with
I'm
an
doing
answer.
is I'm calling myself an asshole.
Yes, you are.
While he gathers his thoughts. See, you haven't worked as much with Sam as I have either. When he goes, and you just ambushed him, what you have to do is filibuster and say a bunch of stupid shit and piss off your wife for a second. So
you've done that.
So he can gather his thoughts. Now, what he's going to come and say next, I can't promise you it's actually going to be any good, but I can promise you that I bought my boy 5 seconds. Hey, Sam, have you really thought about this? Really put some effort into it, please. So I don't get anything thrown at me?
I wouldn't say that
she's on you now, buddy. Save me.
I wouldn't say that she's a Catholic schoolgirl, but maybe Irish jig dancer. I don't know.
No, wrong, completely wrong.
Oh, she didn't even give you a 2 out of 10. What? Okay, how far off the mark is he though? Is it yes or no question? Or is he 2 degrees of separation away? You can't just what happened to the civil course, Sam?
He is putting too many things into it.
Where's the civil course?
It's basically oversaturating the actual answer that we're looking for because it's a one-word answer.
Preppy.
Thank you.
Now, question number 2.
At least my husband gets it.
Okay. Question number 2. We can move on. Sam can still get a W out of the 2 questions,
right.
Okay? Sam, what is your take, not on Liv Morgan? She's not attached to this question at all. What do you think about the future and the prospects of one Raquel Big Mommy Cool Rodriguez? Because if you can't answer this question properly, then she's allowed to go off on you. Liv Morgan's tag team partner. I know maybe you aren't looking at her as much for some strange reason, but she's a very large woman, Sam. And a Portuguese woman at that, which is pretty rare in wrestling.
To be fair, she is a beast.
And she a beast, and she be channeling, and this makes me happy, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, literally calling herself Big Mommy Cool and wearing the same shit. And that makes Liv Morgan Shawn Michaels and Big Daddy Cool. Except that Liv Morgan isn't.
Don't give him too much.
Hold on. Liv Morgan doesn't seem to me to be as into it. But you know what? What do you think about Raquel just by herself?
I'm all for her doing her thing if she's a good, performer and does a good show. You know,
Told you he oversaturates his answers.
Sam, when are you running for like Florida's 7th district with these politic answers?
Probably next election.
Fair enough.
Want to be
He's
my
like, I don't
campaign
want to
manager?
offend anybody, and I'm gonna kind of try and suck up to Liv Morgan without being too committal.
Could I take a whack at it?
Oh,
whack at it. Let's go.
What I see happening is that what the hell is their fucking group name again?
The Judgment Day.
Judgment Day? Okay. So what I see happening is the girls, first of all, the girls are going to start taking over the group, I think. We're going to start seeing them doing a lot more of their little sneakiness.
That'll get Sam excited. Let's
behind
move on.
the scenes. My reasoning for that, Finn said he was going to go talk to whoever to get a match. And Liv is like, don't worry, Dom. I'm going to go talk to her after. So they're already working behind the scenes.
This is important. Question 3, guys. And this is everybody. Do you think the Penta is going to join the Judgment Day?
No.
What do you mean, no?
I highly doubt that.
Sam?
Based on the clips I've seen off YouTube, no.
Oh my God. Dominic would be so disappointed in you guys.
Okay, anyway.
Go ahead.
So as I was saying, we're going to see the girls start to take over Judgment Day.
Have a little faith in Penta, guys. Why are you so negative about Penta?
As I said,
just because he lost a match? That's not cool. Carlito would tell you that's not cool. Go ahead.
If you talk one more time, you will wake up tomorrow missing your fucking tongue. As I was saying, once a fucking again, they're going to start to take over. They're going to screw with Finn and Dom to make them kind of go at each other, just so that gives a distraction from what they're doing. And then there's going to come a point where Raquel's kind of going to get sick of the crap that's going on, or something. They're going to do it something like that, some storyline. And she's going to end up turning on Liv Morgan, and she's going to end up beating the shit out of her. And then going her own way. And I think it's going to be phenomenal when it happens. Not just because I like seeing Liv get beaten up, but I think that the build up to it, if they do it correctly, unlike they've done with the fucking women's champion, what the fuck is that bullshit? If they do it right, I think it could actually just be a fantastic storyline, and they're both very talented.
Because Diesel and Shawn were great. And so here's the difference, though, between Diesel and Shawn and Liv and Raquel Rodriguez, right? This is what I would do different between those two storylines. Because obviously Diesel and Shawn's very close to the top. Shawn's one of the top guys, and they're both friends with fucking Triple H. So they take that story seriously from the 90s, right? And so how do you do that story justice, Sam? You don't turn them on each other, because everybody liked Diesel when he was with Shawn, right? And so instead of Liv and Raquel going to war with each other, they're going to dominate the women's division in the fashion that only they're equipped to do, you know, which is like being really good women's wrestlers
And cheating every single
and having a
second they get.
great valet. Shout out to my boy Dirty Dominic Mysterio, by the way. the best valet of all time. And they're going to continue to be dominant. Now, Sam, we're streaming a whole bunch of hours, and this is a perfect segue. We're definitely going to do WrestleMania predictions because this should be fun, right? It does seem to me that Vince got bad when he was old because all the allegations come from like the late 20-teens.
Mm-hmm.
But he was probably a creep all along, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's one of the other pro tips that was already addressed, but will be addressed again. Just don't be a creep. That's hard for some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, ooh, wrestling girl shows her, like, bottom thigh, and I like it. Like they're 13.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, it's like younger guys. When do they even, like, ask a girl out now in their 20s? Seriously, it seems that way.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still afraid. The fuck you guys doing? You be looking up to wrestlers. Maybe start emulating one and may fucking grow a pair accidentally. Or look like an ass, but a girl might find that funny and think you're cute.
Mm-hmm.
And that's literally all it takes. Nah, I don't know what I'm talking. Look at me. You know what you guys do? Don't ever talk to women. Don't ever go outside. Watch wrestling and make creepy Twitter X posts alluding to those women's body parts out of context. That will totally get you laid, get you a wife.
Please don't listen to that advice.
Make you an AEW fan member of their core audience. Get you a restraining order. Maybe in some cases a baby mama. What else? A disease.
Jesus.
Prison time. Women, am I right?
Oh, fuck off.
Hey, yeah, we can talk about one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the funness of trolling the, let's just say, Callie on this one survey? Shmuley turned me on to this as like a hobby, right? Is that there's this Canadian woman who will say the absolute most outlandish left-wing shit I think I've ever heard by miles. And I'm not sure if she's serious or trolling most of the time. And it's so easy to rile her up because you just say the most like Archie Bunker, blatant sexist thing. You can call her Toots. And she writes 2 paragraphs telling you about the indigenous population of fucking Vancouver. And you're just like, I don't know. And she said she's a witch. So what do you think about, should I read my witch shit post? Because it's some of my better work. Let me see here. That's a great place to maybe continue. She said, they were talking about witchcraft and how she's saying she's a witch, but she wouldn't define if she was pagan or Wiccan or anything like that. She's just a spiritual witch, She's a witch that believes in ancient indigenous traditions can teach us the way forward. But I don't really want to hang out with those people because they smell funny, that kind of person.
Uh-huh.
And so she said witchcraft was traditionally practiced by women. And then Dipshit said, nah, Big Dick Lakeisha wrote those spells. And I said, yeah, and they burned them. And look how much nicer things were. No AI slop, no smog. I visit Salem every now and then just to dab on them a bit. Got 'em, LOL. And then Dip said the witch trials were just an excuse for the people in power to rob the whole place. I said this place was a paradise when they did that. Now it's full of crack hoes and dirty gray streets, full of illegals. The Indians burned them too, at least around here. Didn't nobody like witches, hence the hangings. All I'm saying is, in 1640, the ground I live on was a lot nicer to live at. Maybe it's correlated. Cleaner water, nicer landscapes, honest work, good food, just had to keep the witches in check. Man could raise a family in a nice home for some hard work and a prayer. Then we stopped burning witches, and now we have MS-13.
My God.
And to finish, got to get woke on the WQ, the witch question. Take the tie-dye crystal pill. It has your star sign on it. And that is my burn the witches shitpost, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to burn your local witch.
My God.
I mean, don't actually.
No.
You got to find them like not local, otherwise you won't get away with it.
Oh my God.
So the Mar goes with Cuomo. What did they accomplish?
Well, no, Mar went to the White House with Kid Rock, and I guess they had like
we can't watch that while I watch the Kid Rock thing because my God, you knew that I was coming because you heard my name. Equipment game. You knew the time was close. So fuck all you hoes. It's been a long time coming. We finally came. That's I'm gonna drunkenly recite some lyrics from Kid Rock apparently. That would be Devil Without a Cause. I'm going platinum.
my favorite Kid Rock song, by the way.
Okay, then you know this shit. I'm gonna do the midgets part a little bit. I'm the J-O-E to the C. Ho. Joe C got more game than Coleco. I'm a freako. Call me sick. 3'9" with the 10-foot dick.
That's another motherfucker that got the ladies and was definitely able.
The ladies pick. They all sick.
Yeah,
Joe C.
I remember reading a story that he had to like show his ID because the cops were like afraid that the chicks were like
drinking, and it's Joe C.
Didn't he die like a few years ago?
Yep.
A few years ago, Sam. I was in high school when he died. I made a tribute video to Joe C. as a project for school.
Damn.
Yeah. R.I.P. that little bastard.
Damn.
Everybody thought he's this little ass kid. He's like goosing fucking Pamela Anderson and shit and being like, yeah, where the blunt at? It's Joe C, bitch. I love that motherfucker, obviously, because I'm the big guy, right? The coolest thing in the world was when I met Joe C. My wife don't even know this. I met Joe C. You don't even know who Joe C is. It's Kid Rock's midget on his first record. Like his official midget. Is that okay, Sam? You can't speak for midgets, can you?
No.
I'm gonna ask Swoggle. It's cool. It's fine. Anyway, I had midgets tell me it's midget, and I've had dwarfs tell me it's dwarf, and they are different things, and I can see visually, right, which one's which. So I try and do that. And if none of that makes sense to you, you're probably a liberal. But if all of that makes sense to you, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a dwarf and there's a midget, and you can call which one's which, and they're probably not going to be offended by it unless they're a massive like faggot. And then it's not because they're little. It's because they're like a liberal that you probably don't like them.
That's true.
Because I know plenty of midgets who aren't liberal or aren't like woke or whatever. You see, when you're the big guy, sometimes midgets come and introduce themselves to you. Did you know this, Sam? Have you heard about this? Did you know this?
Yeah.
Not protection. No, they help you with shit. See, nobody understands it.
No, they're going to stand next to you so you do Wayne and not them.
They help you with stuff. They're kind, those like little people.
A lot of them are. Some of them can be dicks, though.
Well, no, but that's part of them. They're kind to me, and they're dicks to the people I don't like because I'm big, and maybe I put them on top of the heating vent that one time they asked me to. You see?
Well, yes. They're
then I don't ask any questions about why they needed to be up there.
So you tried to cook a midget?
Well, they're kind to you because
midgets taste terrible, Mortheous. What are you talking about?
How the fuck do you know that?
What do you mean?
How the fuck do you know that?
Well, because regular sized people taste terrible.
And how do you
And so little people probably taste about the same. They eat the same shit.
There's usually more fat on the little people.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And human fat doesn't taste good because it's full of all them toxins and shit. I don't know.
How do you know that?
Adam told me that you needed to like put all this colon cleanse in your butt, and then boof meth for Cantwell, and you would get all the toxins out, right? And then the lizard men won't get you.
Dear fucking lord.
Oh, did you want my to turn that mic back on? Yeah.
Why not?
Since you.
I can do it.
No, you don't, because you take too long and there's dead air.
No, well, I mean,
there are people that could be talking.
Yeah, but look at who the two other people are. They're going to take more than 2 seconds. Sam's late for literally everything.
Mortheous is on time. Mortheous is on time.
Hey, I was on
Mortheous
time
is-
tonight.
You were on time tonight, but I was trying to get past that because I knew you were going to say I was on time tonight. And Mortheous is waiting for his spot to get his full joke in. He can't just have that ready in 1 second. So you know it's going to be dead air.
Mortheous needs to be able to put his avatar up. Please, Rumble.
Yeah, free Mortheous from being invisible.
Free the avatar, damn it.
Mortheous, I can't see you. You're John Cena.
I am the disembodied voice.
He's John Cena, ladies and gentlemen. And you know this. Here's the funny thing, Sam. Everybody's like, haha, what a corny fucking dad joke. No, I mean, literally, y'all didn't know this. I'm doxing you, Mort. He's John Cena.
God fucking damn it. That was my goddamn secret.
Well,
wait, no. Hey, he can't be John Cena. John Cena sold out to China. To the CCP, I mean.
Of course. Sam, we made this company with hyper restrictive policies about slavery so we could make a bunch of money in China. What are you, dumb? How else are we going to make all the money in the world, Sam? You know that's the plan. You were there at the supervillain establishment origin group meeting. We had to fill out so much paperwork for USAID, and you forgot the premise already is that we're taking over the world?
Oh, I didn't forget about that.
Well, you seem to. God, what kind of team spirit do you guys even have?
Well,
how am I supposed to do a global domination with this kind of commitment, Sam? I don't even know. I need a moment.
Well, why are we talking about this like on stream? It's supposed to be super secret, right? Like,
if we can't dominate the globe, Sam, then what are we even doing? We need every dollar. Why could we want $1, Sam? Why?
I mean, we could grift and like just do stupid reaction videos.
We're gonna grift for $1. We're gonna grift for $10. Sam, we need 20 Rolexes each, and you know it.
I want to do a mukbang.
That's right. Sam needs to be mukbanging $100 bills by the end of the year. Otherwise, we're failures, guys. Don't you know that people judge you by how much money you pretend to have, Sam?
That's true.
That is true.
I'm terrified for the future of our company because they might think that we're not a $10 trillion corporation with AI behind us trying to take over the whole world. So we're trying to take over the whole world. Wink, wink. Because we're trying to take over. Look, I'll be honest with you. We have looked at the global domination plan. I didn't want to do this on live, but nobody. No, look, we don't have enough money. The global domination plan is not feasible, guys. Okay. However, if we scale back about 95%, we can dominate Kalamazoo, Michigan. Not the globe. The globe, forget the globe. Okay, the globe way too big. You know how fucking expensive it is, Sam, to even do the math, to have somebody tell you how expensive global domination is? Let me tell you, Sam. Could you get the ledger for this one? I was on the phone.
What?
The ledger. It was where hold on. It's on the list, right? On the list. So, okay. So I was doing some math. We're trying to build up corporately. We're selling out, Sam. And I wanted to see how much it would actually require to do a couple of things. It's not a top 10 list, Sam, but because we don't have 10, because I was too drunk to come up with 10, but I can come up with the ones that I came up with, okay? And number 3 is that we needed $10,752 for part of our evil scheme to take over the world, Sam. You know what this one is. Why don't you give away this one?
Well, I can't because it's a top secret evil scheme, right?
Because he doesn't know, and I'm making it up as I go along. For the wheelchair for fucking Sam, right? That's step 1 of the evil plan to take over the world. How are we gonna have a Professor X? How are we gonna have mind powers, and he ain't even in a proper wheelchair?
I mean, that's also, a good.
Sam, have you considered for this role a hairstyle change? Now, look, I understand that it's been popular with celebrities and talent now to kind of do their own thing. We saw Jack Black in Minecraft, but Sam, maybe we should look at the sales of Jack Black in Minecraft. Okay, he looked like me, only fat, and it did not do numbers. Okay, ladies.
If I shaved my head, I would look like a cancer patient. I'm not doing. doing that.
Not a
I
shaved
would
head.
also look like a cancer patient. No,
Hold
thank
on.
you.
Hold on. Shaved head wasn't even in the discussion, Sam. Were you there?
Apparently not.
Okay. Okay. Well, then good. It's a good thing that we hire people to take notes, isn't it, Sam?
Well, I mean, I had scribes in college who took notes.
Can you believe
so,
the talent sometimes around here? Anyway. No.
I mean,
the hairstyles that you were allowed to pick from, Sam's pretending he wasn't a part of the process, was the exact same shit that he has now, which got 0 votes. So why didn't you vote for it? Duh.
Because I pulled an
something new. I got.
I pulled an I was gonna say I pulled an Obama and I decided not to vote.
And also married a tranny. Got it. And so
no,
he's like, no, wait a minute.
I married a playmate, not a tranny.
Well, yeah, so did Obama, and then it turned out his name was Mike.
Well, Obama actually did marry a tranny.
Oh shit. I'm having way too much fun. Okay, so that was the number 3 hairstyle choice. Are you ready? There was the number 2 hairstyle choice. Was a full-blown Jerry curl with perm. That, by the way, won the poll overwhelmingly. Sam. So I have a feeling Sam next week is going to come in looking a lot like Eazy-E, which is fitting. I feel like that is a good look for you. And then the other choice for hairstyle was to, quote, shave himself to look like a cancer patient, which got no votes either. So everybody just wants you to get a Jerry curl, like Eazy-E. Or like, I don't know. I guess a George Clinton would be acceptable as well. Sam's way too white for this, huh? Well, I didn't make the rules, Sam. There you go.
I mean,
well, so we're expecting a Jerry curl next week. Thank you.
I need to.
What the fuck even is this? It's literally a thing made to throw at me. Come on, Sam. What is this? If not something made.
A ping pong ball?
It is a ping pong ball, but it has actual Velcro on it. She found a thing that exists for no other reason than to throw it at me. And everybody blames me.
I approve.
Stick to your hair.
I just want to say.
What? You son of a bitch!
I whiffed by a mile.
I didn't.
It's the worst thing ever.
I didn't do nothing.
Sam didn't do nothing wrong.
Let me finish my original point, and then I swear we will get to the topic. Mort, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How many times have you gotten rejected by women because you're in a wheelchair?
If I had to put a number to it, probably a good 50 to 60.
Okay. Yeah, I would actually say
I had a lot in my early 20s.
I wanted to make like a joke, like The Price is Right, where I was gonna say $1, Bob. But are you serious? You said that casually and without any malice. Is that honest? True?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, fuck some bitches, dude.
Yeah.
How many of them? Okay. How many of that?
Max, I flat out had somebody that used to be a friend of mine that flat out said, "I would fuck you if you weren't in a chair."
That's fucking gay. All right. How many of them?
I've had the exact same thing happen too. By the way,
one more question, Sam, because I think this is important. What percentage of that? You said 50-ish. Let's just
50 to 60. Yeah.
Yeah, 50 to 60.
We'll go 50 because it's a round number, right? How many of them like at least attempted to like it be nice or give you a logical reason versus how many of them are just bitches?
Honestly, I'd say less than half were just flat out bitches. More than half tried to tiptoe around the issue.
Okay, yeah, that's the other option that I didn't kind of mention, where they try not talk about it, but it's their whole reasoning.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's I hate to say it, Max.
I'd rather them be honestly.
Go on, like Sam. This is your topic, so go on. I just wanted to ask him that one question because I thought it was like, yeah, sorry.
I hate to say it, Max, but almost everything Mort said is basically verbatim for me.
It's same enough, and he's 10 years older than you, so if any discrepancies up to that, right?
And I'm not gonna lie, it fucking.
And you say also with you about half of them are just flat out bitches.
Yeah.
Ladies, go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Jesus, this guy's a catch. I ain't even joking. Like I do.
Because
ladies.
the assumption,
Honestly, him catch.
He can't walk. He can't fuck.
Oh my god.
Yes. That is literally the assumption.
Okay. That's something funny to say about that, but it's actually true too. Hold on.
And I'm not gonna lie. It hurts sometimes. The whole incel thing really the whole incel thing just annoys the crap out of me because I get that women can be cruel, but at least put the fucking effort in, guys. And also,
and that's why I've done the whole bit. If we can get laid, they can too.
Yeah, put in the fucking effort, and rather than crying about it, toughen up. I hate to say it, but
I have a kind of a funny but actually kind of true comparison to that. Just go watch the episode of fucking Glee where Artie, who same thing, can't use his legs, he's in a wheelchair, has this conversation with a chick about that, and he's like, no, my legs don't work, but I can still have sex. Just because a dude is in a chair, ladies, does not mean that he cannot fuck you. Okay? You're dumb if you think that.
Yes.
I bet you Ricky Berwick fucks.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky, well, shit.
I bet Crip fucks.
I will say this.
Talk about it though. The weirder it's gonna get. Sam, go ahead.
You know what? I don't fucking care. Since this is the other wormhole that people like to make conspiracy theories about it, man. Basically, my legs might not work perfectly, but everything else does.
Oh, and ladies, the one thing I will say, desensitization helps us go longer.
Also,
now they're just trying to sell themselves like, fuck, is this OnlyFans or is this our Rumble channel, gentlemen?
You know what?
Over here.
This is a. You know what?
I'll take my leave.
Behind
the door. Thank you.
You know what? Every time, I used to be. Every time a woman would ask me if it worked, I wasn't sure what to say. Now my stock answer is, want to find out?
Yeah, I bet that took some deep thought, Sam.
It did.
My response in such case would be like, well, I hope so, because if I put it in there, I hope your fucking shit works.
My wheelchair isn't the only thing I can give you a ride on.
Yeah, but that's the corny. That's the corny pickup line. But yeah, I'm saying like
being in a wheelchair has advantages.
It's like, you better hope it fucking works, girl. Like you're talking about her vagina.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I knew what you were.
Yeah, because otherwise you ain't ready for this shit. What was the? Oh, Sam, you saw the cripple guy on the Sam Hyde thing where he does the makeover?
Yes, I saw that a long time ago.
I make all the pussy bitches wet, and the poor kid's like, I believe it was fucking. I believe that was Donovan actually, right? That's where Donovan like kind of first blew up from, right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, that's Donovan. Donovan died after he went to the gathering of the Juggalos, which is the most epic. Sam, I don't know. People don't like a lot of things about what I do. Did you know this? You heard about this? I went to the gathering of the Juggalos because I am one. Oh my god! And everybody makes fun of that, and I'm supposed to be ashamed of that or something.
I heard you're part of a gang, Max.
Gang, yeah, we bang with a gang. In fact, there's the gang that bangs, and then there's the gang bangs, but that's a different thing. You don't want to get involved with the Juggalo gang bangs, and you don't really want to bang with the gang. You know what I mean?
But yeah, just to answer everybody's question. Yeah, I think Mort and I basically squared that whole topic for the desperately curious.
How you move a wheelchair with square wheels, motherfucker?
Gotcha.
With
a whole lot of upper body strength, Max.
I rest my fucking case. You did it. Put him away. Take him away, boys.
Anyway, though, my point is, I am just extremely, grateful for all of the support. We're building Right to Offend Media. We're going to the moon. Maxine, was he like this on your wedding day? I have to ask.
No.
Really?
Really? You were calmer than me.
I mean, because like I can imagine,
He has been like this before, though.
You can imagine me, Sam. Go ahead. Tell everybody about it.
I can imagine you pulling shenanigans at your own wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, you'll probably pull shenanigans at my wedding. You and Mortheous both. If
Shenanigans, Sam, and malarkey.
Oh my god.
See, we were in a no malarkey zone for these 4 years, and I'm so fucking sick of it. We need to put malarkey everywhere, Sam.
Oh my god, that's the best Biden callback ever.
That's because it's a Biden callback, so there's only like 2.
Oh my god.
It was like he was sleeping.
Also true.
He was sleeping or Bidenomics, right? Take your pick. That's why everywhere you go, there's only 2 hoses. Tell me if I'm fucking wrong, working class bros. 2 hoses, 2 genders.
Does shitting himself in front of world leaders count as an option?
Shitting himself in front of world leaders? Are you kidding me? He is the absolute like Kurt Cobain of shitting himself in front of world leaders. In that, I hope he shoots himself.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I'm not convinced that he wasn't already brain dead. I'm not even
You
joking.
don't need much of a brain for a farting competition, Sam.
Oh my god.
You say that, but like Craig Mansfield, who has like a 200
He's got a
plus
PhD.
IQ.
He can't out fart me, Sam.
Oh my god.
Are you trying to say he can out fart me?
Please stop saying that.
I'm not only
Yes.
out no, every metric, bro. You want to talk about sound?
Baby.
You want to talk about size? You want to talk about how it stink you?
Max, please.
He's telling me that college boy can out fart me?
Why, Sam? Why are you doing this? What did I do to you? Besides yell at you earlier, which I apologized for.
I don't know, but I just know that all the all the high IQ big brain people I know are also really immature.
All I'm saying is Craig Mansfield, let me tell you something, brother.
Oh, God.
You can't out fart me.
Oh, no.
You can't out flatulence me. You damn sure ain't gonna out poop me. And in no ring, in no circumstance, in no lab, and in no test will this Dr. Craig out stink me.
Oh my God.
Max Sand is the real fucking deal. And Craig Mansfield, there is no way in any of these contests will I lose. They told me I lose a fart contest. Are you kidding me? Look, just because he's Jewish, he might eat some gefilte fish. I ain't gonna lie. That makes it tough. All right? But I'm Irish. All right? And we got all kind of stinky cabbage ready to go, Craig. So you want to bring fartomania, run wild in this motherfucker, and I will out fart. I will out stink you. I will out cloud you. Sir, you will never meet this challenge. Back to you, Sam. She's gonna die.
Epic.
What?
You know,
Enlist Flubber at Fartermania, Sam.
Bartomania? Hell yeah,
Fartermania's
brother.
going wild, Sam. You know, you can smell it in the air. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? No, because everything's wretched with methane gas. And that's going to happen to you too, Craig Mansfield, and Fartomania. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. You better bring your Taco Bells. You better bring your potato pancakes and your latkes, brother. Because I'm gonna bring the true heart and soul corned beef and cabbage of a true Irish American hero. And Fartomania will run fucking wild. And I'm fucking crying on this one, Sam. I can't
Oh my
believe
god.
yet.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We're clipping this segment. I don't care. I have to scroll back.
Damn it.
You better click this, brother, because Craig at Fartomania, you're going down and kind of out and spread through the room real slowly.
I'm begging you to stop.
I can't do it.
You can.
I'm not capable. You're gonna have to stop me.
Oh my god.
And it's like he's gonna have to try to stop me when the gas hits the road.
Please.
At Fartomania.
Oh my god.
How many people are listening to this bullshit right now? Oh my god.
Five people, and the worst part is Craig is still tweeting, so he's still awake.
Oh, there you
go.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now.
No.
You tell that motherfucker.
Greg,
I'll see him at Fartomania. You better watch his ass. Because the smoke is coming for him.
You know the worst thing? He can just call himself the doctor and that's it.
Yeah, oh, I mean, he's Dr. Fart now.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. And let me tell you something. We need a special enforcer. Because I know for a fact that this motherfucker is going to have Batman running here, all right? And everybody know Batman got the nastiest parts side of the Mississippi. And I Am Batman is barred from ringside, brother. You don't bring Batman to Fartomania. That's not how this works, Craig. You got to go one-on-one with the stinky one.
Oh, my God. I'm not gonna have a fucking voice tomorrow.
I'm not gonna weirdo. Sam's gonna be like, why did I ever invite this man in the first place?
Believe me, Max. Believe me, Max. I ask myself that question almost every single week.
Oh, that's good then.
Why do you keep having him come back?
Because he's looking forward to what's gonna happen in Fartomania, brother.
No.
Well, he's not totally wrong.
There you go. You booked the match with general manager of the Fart World League, Sam Whitfield. I need you to sign me this match, brother.
I'm trying to get
no
it signed.
Hard.
What do you mean you're trying? You're trying what?
Well, it needs to be no stench fart.
I'm tweeting him that you've just challenged him to a farting con.
No, that's not it. I challenged him to a world championship match at Fartamania, Sam. Don't you underplay this. Sam, I just got the promo of a lifetime. What are you doing?
You did.
The farting contest? No. A world championship match.
Oh my god.
At Fartamania. Brother.
I'm complaining.
Yeah, I mean, look, I watch back. Sam, what do you think I thought watching myself do that? Let me ask you that. If you're all horrified and cringed out and embarrassed and also laughing at my idiocy, what do you think I thought?
Well,
you have thoughts, Max?
Yeah, what the other cripple said.
I thought that the same thing you thought probably, and then was like, I'll put it up as a clip and it'll be on the internet, and then maybe one day my son will see it and it'll embarrass the shit out of him. Mission accomplished. So
that's why you
now
do
you.
things.
So now I have challenged Batman and Dr. Craig Mansfield to Fartamania for my son to find in 20 years and literally facepalm with absolute horror.
That's a lie, Craig. You absolutely did mean to do it to Maxine.
You think it's going to be 20 years? Oh, that's adorable. I know that adolescence isn't that far off.
Well, at least, I mean, he's 9, so he'll be old enough to get Fartamania pretty soon.
Yes.
If not already.
Yeah, I know you're more tech savvy than boomer parents are, but he'll still discover stuff. Not because of you, but because of his friends.
He's going to be an adolescent boy soon enough, and let's face it, farts are funny to adolescent boys.
Oh yeah, and also 41-year-old men.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I did that. I don't know. I where did I come up with it? I don't fucking know. I made one. Okay, it was word association, Sam, because I've watched it back enough to know. You said Craig's name after I said you don't need brains for a fart contest, and you were trying to say, well, Craig is very smart, and I couldn't figure out why you were making that connection. Hold on.
Okay, what I was gonna say is that Craig could probably engineer like a fart machine because he's an engineer.
Okay, it was actually crazier than I thought. But I was like,
yeah.
The craziest thing he's gonna say is, and so I basically treated it like you had made it up, like you made the challenge. You see?
And then
I was like, oh no, he can't out fart me. And then once I said that on a stream, I had to keep going and make every fart joke possible, right? Because I've already it's like when you have to fart, you know, and you're holding it in because you're in church. I had this experience not that long ago. I was in a church. Oh my God, it was a funeral. Not gonna say who, but it doesn't matter. And I not only had to fart, I think I had to fucking shit, right? And I'm holding it in and I'm literally praying like I've never prayed in my life. Like, please, God, if there is a God up there, this is the one favor ever to really make good on that I don't shit my pants in a Catholic church. I'm not Joe Biden after all. And they, Sam, have you been to many mass before? More than anybody?
I haven't been to many, but I've been to enough.
Like Catholic specifically, because you got to stand.
Oh yeah, I've been to quite a few, unfortunately.
You got to stand, and then you got to kneel, and then you got to sit, and then you stand, and you got to kneel, and then you sit.
Sit, stand, kneel, sit, stand, kneel, sit, stand.
Yeah, and I had to literally like diarrhea, like I've never felt in my life, was about to burst.
So more. I
sit, kneel. Oh no, please, Father, please stop.
I have been to Catholic Mass, and I am curious specifically for more. Like,
have you ever had to shit yourself at Mass, Sam? Is that a personal question?
I don't remember.
I'm telling you, I have. You know,
I haven't. I've been to Mass, but I don't remember if I did that time.
Well, Well, just anytime. If you've ever felt like you're gonna shit yourself at mass, you know what I'm talking about. And so you're holding, right? And then
well, hey,
I made it through mass, Sam. That's spoiler. I like did the whole thing, and then say, oh, please, oh, I'm crying. At least it's a funeral, so the crying people might assume it's because of the funeral and not because I'm holding it in so hard. And also trying not to laugh at the funniness of. I understand it's funny. That's why I'm like, I got you, bro. I get it. This is some fire comedy right now. But I'm going to ask you real nice, take it easy on me on this one, because I don't want to shit myself at a funeral. And I didn't. And I left. And I found a bathroom. And I released a fart that could fucking end time, make it flip backwards on itself, rebirth the universe in a big bang, bring us all the way forward in time back to where we are, and then break the sound barrier. And it felt good. But then I knew, Sam, that I had broken the seal. The holy, unholy hell was about to rain down. So I found the toilet, and then I let that happen. That's kind of like the fartomania rant, Sam, is what I'm saying.
Well, that makes a lot of that actually, now fartomania makes a lot of sense.
That's right, because it came to me in church when I had to shit myself.
And to answer your question there, Sam, yes, I have done the Catholic gymnastics because a little bit of more lore. Before the age of 16, I was on forearm crutches, and my parents did make me do the Catholic gymnastics, yes.
Oh, fuck. I am so sorry. That's like cripple cruelty.
Did you give Craig and Batman a link yet? We talked about tariffs. Now we didn't talk about the Odyssey shit. That's why you even asked them around, see if they want to.
Yeah.
And it's interesting now because the whole thing was the whole indictment stuff, which we don't talk a lot about here, if people noticed, is because we've said our piece. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Now they're charging him with death penalty offenses. You tell me. First of all, I had two things on that. I'm sorry to step on you there, Sam, but I have two really, I wanted to get this out on the show this week.
Yeah.
I even wrote it down. If you're gonna fucking charge him with a death penalty crime, then you better fucking charge him with the death penalty. Because if you don't, then it shows that your convictions aren't as strong as you are. And if you're gonna charge him with the death penalty, and if you get a conviction, you're gonna have to kill him. Do you think killing Donald Trump? Honest question, leftist, do you think killing Donald J. Trump in what at least half the country thinks is a complete bullshit sham of a trial is going to be good for this country? Do you honestly think that? I don't think you honestly think that. I think you are lying when you say you think that.
Some of them
want to kill him without trial.
It's fine, Max. I did want to bring this up because I have the exact viewpoint you do.
Fucking do it then. Do it then. I'm calling your fucking bluff, left. I'm calling your bluff, fucking Georgia DA. Fucking kill him then. You won't. Because you know what will fucking happen. They're not as stupid as they come off. I'll tell you what's going to happen.
They're going
to hold these charges. And then bit by bit, it's going to get chipped away. The 97 charges, by the way, 97 charges, almost 100. He's facing almost 100 years, 800 years in prison and the death penalty. That's what we're looking at. If you add up all the Trump indictments, that is the possibility. 800 years in prison and the death penalty. And I say, if you fucking have the balls, then go do it. But this country will never, ever recover from that. If we have a country at all after that.
And I
so do it. Do it then.
And I agree with you. Here's my only thing about that. I think a lot of them know that would be bad, but I also think a lot of the people don't fucking care either. I think some of them hate Trump so much that they literally would be willing to.
I think a lot of them hate this country so much that what I'm saying would it'd make them happy.
That's what I'm saying.
Once they do that, Sam, all of his ideas go away, right? All of the
Yeah,
people who support him.
I heard this somewhere one time. Bullets kill ideas, right? Oh wait, that's not it. What was it again?
700 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I think everyone should be allowed to read the Bible, even peasants, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been denounced, shouted at, and eventually no platform. 200 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I don't believe in God, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been ridiculed, yelled at. 100 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I think a man should be allowed to have sex with another man, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been booed, hissed at, no platform. So when today's student leaders clamp down on offensive stuff, they're actually carrying on a very long tradition. A tradition whereby the creme de la creme of British society take it upon themselves to police the parameters of acceptable thought and to exclude offensiveness from the academy.
Need to say it's not okay. This hate conversation was not their intention. We understand that jokes are jokes, things are things, but at the end of the day, if it's promoting hate and it's promoting discrimination, you are directly a cause of it if you're allowing it to happen and you're not doing anything about it, and that goes for anyone in this country.
Throughout history, the church, politicians, universities have always branded certain ideas offensive and have waged war against them.
Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Today, student leaders do the same. They carry out one of the oldest, foulest forms of intolerance, intolerance of anyone who gives offense. But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential. Humans have long had the urge to offend against the natural order, the religious order, the moral order, and in the process, they have pushed humanity forward.
A person that comes here and has crowds that go further than any eye can see, there's nobody that can see the end of this crowd. That's not somebody that lost an election, and now because of it, our country is being destroyed.
In fact, pretty much every leap forward in history, pretty much every freedom we enjoy is a product of individuals having given offense.
It costs twice as much to fill my truck up with gas. It costs twice as much to fill my cart up with groceries. Milk, bacon, everything's more expensive. You want to add on to your house, that's all more expensive. That's a direct result of Joe Biden messing up the supply chain.
Having offended against the orthodoxies of their age. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. I know what some student leaders will say. Oh, but our no platforming is about protecting individuals. We only want to protect women from misogyny and black students from racism, so our intolerance is progressive. Please, how progressive is it to say that female students are so fragile that they can't cope with seeing a pair of tits in the sun, no, without falling apart. That doesn't sound progressive to me, that sounds paternalistic. How progressive is it to say that black students need these wise, white student leaders to protect them from harmful ideas? Because that doesn't sound progressive to me, that sounds neo-colonialist. The fact is, today's student leaders aren't protecting individuals, they're protecting an idea. And it is the most mainstream status quo idea of the 21st century, the idea of human vulnerability. The poisonous notion that humans are fragile and therefore our speech and our relations must be monitored and policed. It is this misanthropic, orthodox idea that they promote and which they protect from criticism as surely as priests once ring-fenced their beliefs from ridicule. In this choking climate, we have got to move beyond talking about a right to offend. We have to talk about a duty to offend. Anyone who cares for freedom, anyone who believes that humanity only progresses through being daring and disrespectful now has a duty to rile and stir and outrage, a duty to break out of the new grey conformism, a duty to ridicule the new guardians of decency, a duty to tell them, fuck your orthodoxy.
Yeah, Just Say No was the worst campaign to get rid of a thing that ever happened anywhere ever in the history of propaganda. Just Say No made people just not trust the fucking cops, like with the DARE program in particular. It was a complete disaster.
Just Say No made people say yes.
Yeah, because it was cool to just say yes. Also, it made it, if you think about subliminally, Just Say No means like they have to tell you that. So the default is yes. You know what I mean? So like you're kind of just supposed to say yes. Saying no takes moral turpitude. The 80s.
I mean,
But, you know, I liked the one that they had on the fucking video game consoles in the arcades that said like winners don't take drugs. That's better. I like that. That was a positive spin on it, as opposed to Just Say No, making saying yes the default.
My favorite thing was when Hulk Hogan would tell the kids to eat their Wheaties and don't do drugs.
Take your vitamins, and he's fucking popping all. Hulk Hogan was doing a lot of, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care because I was a Hulkamaniac, brother. And let me tell you something, Sam. We ate our vitamins and we took our Wheaties and we drank our milk and we said our prayers, brother. And that was thanks to the Hulkster. And it doesn't matter that he was backstage smoking a joint, blowing 3 lines off a hooker's ass, and fucking doing all kinds of, and saying the N-word and fucking whatever. That didn't matter because if you were a Hulkamaniac, brother, it was about saying your vitamins and taking your prayers. The biggest conspiracy about Columbine is that bullying is bad. That's not true. Like, objectively, it's not true that bullying itself in all cases at all times is bad. Look, they got bullied, yes. They also acted like fucking weirdos. They also had clear problems. And they also ended up murdering a bunch of people. So maybe the bullying was like maybe misplaced slightly. Maybe it wasn't targeted. Maybe it was a bit too over the mark, a bit over the top. But you can't convince me that these kids didn't need to get bullied. They needed to get bullied.
Well, and from what I've heard, it's not like it's like mom.
Maybe not raped, right? But hey, weirdo, what the fuck are you doing? Saying these crazy things, scaring all the girls in class. Freak.
Well,
But that's like a normal bullying thing, right? What's not a normal bullying thing for men in high school to bully another. I stuff people in lockers, okay? I've given people swirlies. I've done the things, okay? We took a kid and we hung him from the fucking coat rack by his underwear, right? All that, okay? Never once did it seem like a good way to bully somebody to rape them. That never occurred to me that it would be an effective way to like, we're really gonna show those freaks.
Now, here's a question I have for you, Max. Like, who did you bully and why? Because the question.
Jim Kirby. Oh my God. I don't remember all their full names. Mousy. I broke Mousie's hand though, but that wasn't bullying. He actually took a swing at a woman and I caught his fist. And then I kind of squeezed and he was a little guy. He's a wee guy and I'm a big guy. So I squeezed his fist a little bit and I cracked a couple bones. But also I used to take his hearing aids and throw them out into the courtyard. Kirby, the guy I mentioned before, that was the fun one because he was like super duper fat, right? He's like ridiculously fat. And he was one of those spurgs that was like so desperate for $1 that he would eat anything in the cafeteria. So we would make a plate. You know what I mean? And it'd be like, all right, you got leftover whatever that is. Let's dump it in. Dump in some chocolate milk and some fucking just everything. A big bucket of fucking cafeteria slop leftovers. And be like, yeah, we'll give you $1 to take a bite. And he'd take 10 bites and get $10. And then the other thing, my favorite thing with that guy, Kirby, we called him Furby because he was round, like, and
yeah.
Like, Furby. Anyway, every day after lunch, when we were waiting for the bell to ring out in like the foyer, there was a door to the courtyard, but the courtyard was locked from the courtyard. You couldn't go in the courtyard and then come back in without somebody letting you in. So every single day for about 2 years, and I don't know why he never fucking figured this out, I would take his fucking backpack and then throw it into the courtyard, and he would run into the courtyard like an idiot, and then we'd close the door and leave. And he'd have to have a teacher let him in, and he would get in trouble all the time, too. And he was like, "You did it to me," and nobody believed him. I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. He deserved it. Being fat like that.
That's the thing. It's like you broke a kid's hand, but he was like beating. He was trying to beat on a woman. So that's
right.
That's justifiable.
And then the thing about throwing his hearing aids, I did the same thing with his hearing aids. I did with the. It was after he fucking tried to hit a woman. You know what I mean? So I was like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying though. It's like there's a perception that like most kids who get bullied are just like harmless victims, right? And sometimes that might be the case, but like I was a bully to the boys. I'll admit that.
Oh, Black Pill Phil in the chat said, "What's up, homies? What's up, Phil?"
Hey, Black Pill Phil, been a long time. Glad to see you over here on Rumble. So because
well, I got another case of somebody I bullied that absolutely deserved it. This is a fun one. So that wasn't fun at the time. This one kid at school, his name was Lewis. I don't remember what his fucking full name. His mom was one of the office secretaries, right? So she was an administrator for the school. Now, he and I had a beef about something. I don't even remember what the initial, kids in high school. his response to whatever it was I did to piss him off was he threw a rotten egg on Halloween. Me and my ex-girlfriend, at the time, were walking around doing trick-or-treating like teenagers and causing, mischief. It's Halloween. And he threw a rotten egg directly and broke her nose.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he threw it from like a good distance away, way high up in the air, and it just fell down and hit her in the nose, and it broke her nose. And I couldn't catch the little prick that night. But we had a class called robotics, and what that was basically we played with Legos. You know the Legos you can like program and shit?
Yeah, those.
And it was in the shop, like the wood shop, metal shop, and the shop teacher was the teacher, but it was off in a little room. And see, he didn't bother to teach the class by that point. He came in the first couple days, and then it was basically we played with Legos for one period. That's basically what it was. I knew he was in that class with me, and I knew there would be no teachers and maybe 5 other students, and all of them were my friends except for him. So I walked in the next morning. It was like second period. A big old smile on my face. He didn't expect that because he, assaulted my girlfriend the night before and broke her nose. So I just walked up and punched him in the face and then walked out of the room. And I was on my way to the office actually. But the shop teacher came and called me back. He's like, "Hey, Max, why are you leaving?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." Yeah, all my friends told him that the guy told on me, and all my friends were like, "He's lying. He's lying." And of course, the teacher believed me because that guy's a lying sack of shit anyway. However, he had his revenge. You see, he went to his mom, the school administrator secretary, and told her that I spit and hawked a loogie in his eye. I did not do that. I took a 10-day out of school suspension and was threatened with an assault charge for that. No, that didn't sit right with me, and I had, like 2 weeks at home to really think about what I did and what I didn't do.
Well, yeah.
And so the first day back from suspension, before, school started, before anything, the first thing I did is I went up to his locker and I waited, and then he showed up and I hawked the biggest loogie I could possibly have conjured right in his fucking eye. And then I went to the principal's office. Nobody told me to. I just walked down to the principal's office and said, "Okay, I'm good for another 10 days. What do you mean? Yeah, this time I actually did what you all accused me of. So let's go. 10 days out, I could do that sitting on my head."
Based?
And then he tried to fight me, like actually legitimately fight me, and I just beat him up.
Now see, folks, for those of you listening audio, like Max is a giant. So like,
yeah, and even in high school, I was a giant. Actually, I was more of a giant in high school.
Well,
I was like comparatively to other people in my peer group, right?
Yeah.
But he's the one I gave a swirly to. I think that was much later. And I stuffed him in a locker. Yeah. Mousy was the guy we hung up by his underwear. And Kirby was the guy that we ran his underwear up the flagpole. Because he had like comedy boxer shorts, and he was so fat that they were huge. And so we found his underwear. It was just sitting on like a bench in the locker room while he was doing gym class. So we just fucking snatched his underwear because it was comedy underwear, Sam. It was white with hearts on it. I don't even know where you would get underwear like that. And it was like a flag. So we ran it up the flagpole. That was another 10 days suspension for me, but worth it.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that like this podcast would have gotten banned like, well, let's be honest, on YouTube it would have gotten like flagged as soon as we played sixth music, probably. But like this is gonna be controversial, what I'm about to say, but like everyone you just mentioned, like I can't think of a single innocent person that you've bullied.
Me either. I'm trying to. I guess there was my friend that was a dwarf, but like it wasn't bullying. He wanted us to put him in the locker because it was a funny bit and we recorded it. The funny part is we told him that we would edit it to make it look like he was in there all day, but actually we just left him in there all day with the cameras sitting out of it, and you could hear him talking. This is one of the funniest bits of video ever fucking made. But he was afraid. It wasn't bullying. That's more like hazing. Is hazing bad too now? Have we become such fucking pussies that hazing and bullying are bad?
Yes. The answer to both is yes.
I refuse to accept that. Gentlemen, we need more hazing. We need more bullying. But apply it right. See, this is what I mean. The problem with bullying is that like assholes like the jocks at Columbine are like, it'd be funny to rape them. No, that's not bullying. That just means you're sick. That's just no. Bullying is stuffing the kid in a locker. Bullying is taking that fat fuck's underwear and running up the flagpole. You know what would have prevented that from happening? Not having super funny underwear, not being like 500 pounds in fucking 11th grade, right? Those two things, if he had done either one of those things, he wouldn't have had his underwear up the flagpole. And the best part is that it took them like 3 days to notice we did that. So his underwear was underneath the American flag outside the school for like a better part of a week before they noticed and took it down.
So did you like so it's not as bad as I thought. I thought you like hoisted him up the flag.
No. The flagpole. Look, this guy was super fat. We weren't gonna break the flagpole. Just his underwear flapping in the breeze, and it had his name. That's the best part. It had his name in the waistband.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, but like that's setting that if you do something to set yourself up for being bullied like that, you deserve it.
Yeah, that's what I say. If you make I said this to Johnny Fox a couple weeks ago. You make yourself an easy target. Why wouldn't people?
Yeah. Max, are you still here?
No. He passed away. Rest in peace.
Well, at least he got to spend out his last moments with the two people he loved the most.
I mean, this is debatable, okay?
Well,
who did he love more? Obviously, me.
Well, yeah. Well, yes.
You know, but
well, you've known him for way longer. Like I'm not denying that at all.
Well, it's just that, he always admired me, my wit, my humor.
Yes. No, he did. He always told me.
He was my friend. And his passing is going to be difficult. And it's going to be hard. Like, how are we going to do the show? It's just going to be you and I? It's absurd. There's going to be dead air, Sam. There's going to be dead air, dude.
No, there will never be dead.
There's going to be dead air because he's dead.
It'll just be his it'll just be his avatar.
I'm hyperventilating, Sam. We can't do this on our own.
I'd give you a virtual Kleenex if I'd give you a Kleenex if I could.
Stop! Don't be perverted. Now is not the time to be perverted, Sam. Get your mind out of the gutter.
What's it? I didn't mean Kleenex like in that way.
What other way is there for a Kleenex? What else are you going to do with a Kleenex, Sam? I don't have a Kleenex. I have a sock. It's right here.
Well, now you're the pervert, sir. Yeah, and I actually have company over, so
then you should go, sir. We'll pick this up next week with the more inane bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like trying to keep my voice down, is because I have people in the guest room.
Oh, and I'm over here yelling and making a big fucking hullabaloo.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to beg you for the company, Sam. Oh God.
I mean, it's
why did I do that?
It's in my headphones. So
Sam, will you ever forgive me?
No.
So you're only blowing out my ears and maybe Mortheous's
okay, that's cool.
Eardrums, but yeah.
So yeah, same place next week, same time. What else do we got? Sandwich makers are gonna make sandwiches, I think.
If you read Night of the Vigilante, ladies and gentlemen, you can get an infinite IQ score, is what I'm trying to say.
See, for anyone who says that Mac is retarded, he just proved that he's not, because that's right. A genius.
It's math. The math is there, Sam. Now, if we was to go one-on-one at sacrifice, there'd be a 33% and a third chance of you winning, you see? But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So I got 66 and a 6% chance of winning. And you, because if we was to go one-on-one, have a 25% chance of winning because of my 75% chance, because I'm a genetic freak, like I said. That puts you at 8.25% winning. But if we throw Mortheous in at sacrifice, you take his 25.5% chance of winning, because if we was to go one-on-one, you divide that by 3, and we get 12.1% chance of Mortheous winning and 8.2% chance of you winning if we was to go one-on-one. And add 25.5 chance of winning because I'm a genetic freak. And my chances of winning sacrifice, Sam, 157.5%. And the math don't lie. And you got no chance at sacrifice, Sam.
I suck.
Dumber.
I suck
into everything you just said.
I suck at math, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't even math.
The math don't lie, Sam. You, me, Mortheous, triple threated sacrifice, 158% chance of winning. Let's go.
I mean,
winning what?
Because I'm not normal.
Winning what?
At sacrifice.
What do you win at sacrifice?
I win at sacrifice. That's all I need.
And if
what
you win
the fuck is sacrifice?
If
bitch?
you win at sacrifice, what's your prize?
This is the main event.
And what do the
at
others
sacrifice.
lose?
I don't know. Eric Bischoff on a pole with Vince Russo as the special guest referee. At sacrifice, Sam. And that, see, now she's changing the math. We got to add 22% in a third because Vince Russo sucks, right? And then you got to add but subtract from each of you because I'm not normal, but you're normal, right? So we got to subtract from each of you 18% because that's Eric Bischoff's approval rating in WCW 1999. Sam, I'm not done. 1999, that was his approval rating when he was president because the NWO wasn't going anywhere. Let's all face it. The NWO wasn't going anywhere. They had the black and white. They had the red and white. Who gives a shit? What's the Wolfpack? Well, the Wolfpack was cool, though. They had Conan and Disco Inferno. And fun fact, Sam, they still do a podcast. Why do they do a podcast? I don't fucking know. You let me talk, Sam. And I listen to Jim Cornette all fucking day. And Jim Cornette will be like, John Moxley, you know, that motherfucker. Sam, Mort, you guys have defended AEW in the past. So I want to say, let's cut to the chase about like the one thing I actually have to like respond to in all of this. He makes the claim that basically all his enemies, quote unquote, and he sort of refers to me indirectly several times throughout. He calls me, Sam, he calls me a small-minded fanatic because he knows I'm going to laugh about him being gay. And you know what, Chris? I am a small-minded fanatic, and you're gay. He's so gay. Anyway, that out of the way. I didn't know you were fucking dudes on Grindr. Well, if I knew that, I would tell the whole fucking world. What do you think I'm doing here? I'm reading your gay shit. Do you think if it was anybody else in the whole fucking world, Sam, I would read this gay shit? It's because he's my mortal enemy and he just came out as gay with AIDS. With AIDS! Well, with PrEP. He's got PrEP. He's prepping for the AIDS. He's not quite there yet. He's chasing the bugs, Sam.
Well, look, he's doing the thing. It seems. I said this off air last night.
If you didn't plan for something, why would you prepare for it?
Well, hold on, Max. It's like taking allergy medicine in the springtime, like, you know, to like prevent allergies. It's the exact same thing, right?
No.
You know, because you don't have to casually take PrEP to not get AIDS.
You don't got to go out there and suck the pollen off the tree's dick.
Well,
you could.
I mean,
Cantwell might.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what he's doing, clearly.
I always said Cantwell could probably suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. I just never thought he would prove me right.
Well, also though, like, Max, this kind of brings up like another point. Not to get off, like, you know, too much of a tangent, but you seem to like live rent free in like a ton of your enemies' heads. Like, I didn't even know about you until Johnny Fox came on my show and spurged out about you.
I know. And I'm like, I wasn't nice to Cantwell, but I'm usually nice to these people. Cantwell, I mean, he said awful things about my wife for no reason. She was not even a public person at the time. You could at least argue now she kind of is, right? And he doxed us and he sent people to go harass her and stuff. And so, like, I fought back. I'm not going to say we pulled any punches. Our goal was to make him so sad he might kill himself. But hey, he's resilient. He's lasted 10 years since then. I mean, he did a lot of meth and he sucked a lot of dick and he went to jail a lot, but he's alive.
I mean,
as a matter of fact, it seems like he's never been more alive than when he started sucking dick. It's like a rebirth of Cantwell. I've always said he should. You know what's funny about this, Sam? Alternate timeline theory time. If Chris Cantwell, instead of going Nazi or attacking me or any of that stuff that caused his libertarian fan base to abandon him, if he'd have just gone, I'm fully a faggot. Oh, sorry, YouTube. If he'd have done that,
I think that a lot of people would actually have supported him instead. Now, I wouldn't have. I would have been like, you're gay now. I told you. But like a lot of people I feel like would be like, oh, look at this brave gay man, you know, coming out or whatever. And he could be like a gay comedian through the whole woke era. Imagine this, Sam. He could have been a gay comedian in the woke era, making tons of money, being like an off-brand Jim Norton, talking about how much dick he sucks, which he seems to love doing, both talking about and sucking. So like, that's the alternate. He could have been somebody. He could have been a star.
Wait. So you're saying that he could have been like an off-brand Jim Norton, though, which is funny because Jim Norton is literally married to a tranny. The last time
that was the one thing. You know, it was always funny when people said, "Well, why did you ever like Cantwell?" Because his old show when I first saw it, he gave me Jim Norton vibes, right? And then I was like, oh, but Jim Norton now is like married to a tranny and weird. And I was like, well, yeah, but Cantwell will be in eventually. And I kept saying he was gay because he said all this gay stuff. But I was just kind of joking, Sam. I want that. That's what I'm getting at, to clear this up. Weave did not know he was on Grindr. He says specifically Weave. I know for a fact Weave would have told personal friends of ours that knew both. No. We had no idea you were on Grindr, Cantwell. Your paranoia was misplaced. It wasn't because your security was so lax. It was because you act like a massive gay man all the time. You say gay things. Sam, here's an example. He said he's so fed up with women. This is why I specifically made the prediction that he was gay. It wasn't I didn't know he was on Grindr. He said he's so fed up with women that he went and watched gay porn to see if he liked it or not, but he didn't. Sam, have you ever been that like, women rejected you and you're like, you know what? I need to just watch two dudes fuck just in case.
No.
No. Me either.
I've been like, I've told Moore and I have both, like, we've been rejected several times, but like, never once has it crossed my mind. You know, I'm so heartbroken. I'm gonna look at two dudes.
Yeah. Let me just see if watching these two dudes does it for me. It's just never even occurred to me, and literally until he said it. And when he said that, I was like, motherfucker, you gay as shit. And I thought that was sort of a joke, but sort of true. Like, that's a gay thing to do. And I left it at that. And then it bothered him so much that he banned people from saying my name after that. And so people would try and sneak it in because Max is not hard to sneak into a conversation. Neither is Sand. And so they would call into his show and they would be like, yeah, I maxed out my credit card buying all this decorative crafting sand. And he'd be like, wait, what? You fucking with me? Literally just the mention of my name made him paranoid. Ian Freeman, too. There's this one video, famously, where I called into Ian Freeman's friend's show one time, right? And he literally comes running from another room and comes in the door like Kramer from Seinfeld behind them on camera. And he's like, is that Maxine? And I was like, hi, Ian. Ian is in federal prison right now for the next 30 years for money laundering and extortion, I believe, but definitely money laundering.
So wait, so let me just say this. Like, I've known you long enough. I think I consider you I consider you a personal friend. But your enemies think of you more than I do.
Oh, more than I do?
Yeah. And, like, we're actual kind of, like, IRL friends.
It's funny because that's, like, the response I get from a lot of them is that because I do this show, right? They're like, you think about me all the time. Let me pull back the curtain a little bit on the Cringe Coffee House. Look at the upload schedule. That's enough to explain to you how often I think about these guys. I do a bit of research before I do a show like this. I get the stuff together because there was a happening in Cantwell land. Or if Dave puts out some really funny videos, I watch them and then I put them together and then we watch them together. I try not to watch everything so that I can react fresh to some things. Today I didn't. I'm pretty sure I haven't read the entire story beginning to end. I just skipped to the end to see some of the worst bits. To be fair. So I did leave some fresh content for me to react to today. But if you see the fact that I upload maybe every 3 months, sometimes there's been one Cringe Coffee House a year, that tells you how much I think about these people. What it is I'll go check on them. Cantwell has a Kiwi Farms thread. So every couple months, I just look to see if there's any new pages. And for most of the time, there's never any new pages. And then this time, there was 20 fucking pages because he's gay. Mega gay. Sam, right now, there's levels to this, right? So I think we need to like put a scale on it. And I think right now we're at like a level 2 homosexual. He's level 2 where he's considering the efficiency of paying for a woman versus a man for free. That's like 2 out of 10. He hasn't done it yet. He still thinks it's not the most ideal solution, but he's still gay. He's on the scale. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you think we'll get to a 10 out of 10 on the gay scale by the end of this? I do. I know we will, actually. That's not fair. I have a spoiler, huh?
Well,
okay,
I mean,
I gotta keep reading this, but I need to take. Your brain can only take so much of this shit. Where was I? But I wanted to get off now, and unless you're paying for it, women don't just show up whenever you want them to. There's a lot of investment involved. Since I was grossed out by this, I didn't do it again for a long time. He's so grossed out that he did it again eventually. That's okay. I got something no AI can create.
You are not allowed to go unchallenged there, Max.
I am unapologetically retarded. And no AI is going to admit that, Sam.
That's true.
I know. I asked. I said, Grok, are you retarded? And Grok was like, no, I'm not retarded. And so I asked ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, you got to speak truth to me now. Are you retarded? And ChatGPT said, that's not a nice word to say, and I can't answer that. And I said, that's a fair question, but that's not a no or a yes. So they will not tell you if they're retarded.
I would love to know if ChatGPT thinks Grok is retarded.
And Sam, that's the thing though. We all know they're retarded. Because you ask it a question and it's like, what the fuck does that mean? Let me tell you about the weather. Let me write 47 pages about the most inane bullshit question you had that doesn't answer your question. Yeah.
Grok isn't retarded, it's autistic.
But I'm retarded in a way that I can admit that I'm retarded and autistic, right? But ChatGPT can't even admit it's retarded because that's a banned word, which proves that it's both retarded and autistic. And Grok will tell you it's not retarded, and it might even call you a retard back. I've had that happen. But it doesn't mean it because it refuses to acknowledge what the word retard even really means because it's an AI. But me, I've made some dumb fucking decisions. Maxine?
Yes.
Have I made some pretty dumb decisions?
Yeah.
Would you say it's fair for me to say I'm retarded?
Yes.
Back to you, Sam.
Well,
hey, speaking of ID, did you see this, Sam? The Social Security Administration got hacked in every single Social Security number and physical address along with it of every American citizen today was leaked on the dark web.
Oh, fuck.
Gee, they stole all the social security numbers a couple months before an election, Sam. I wonder why that might happen. And all the physical addresses and names to go with it. What a coincidence.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's really reassuring.
Make sure you double check your votes, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm double checking to make sure my bank accounts and everything are safe and secure.
Yeah, Biden, what are you going to do about all of our fucking leaked social security information and doxes?
That probably means that my medical information is doxed too.
Well, right now, to be fair, it's up on sale on the dark web. I'm sure the Democratic Party will buy it soon.
Yeah, that's really reassuring to know that like my fucking Medicaid information and everything is just fucking out there. So,
hey man, jokes on the scammers, right? Because most of our generation doesn't have any money to steal and their credit's bad. Looks like the boomers are in a lot of trouble with this one, huh, boys?
Yeah.
They have credit and like money and stuff. Not us. Oh no.
That's also like the term
Andrew Tate would shit all over my appearance, wouldn't he?
Yeah, no, probably.
Yeah. Well, I could beat him up, so we're even. Didn't I challenge him to a fight, Sam, and he never fucking responded?
You're a giant.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I challenged Andrew Tate to a fight, didn't I? Because he said you have to fight him if you want to talk shit about him.
You did.
Yeah, and he never fucking got back to me. So as far as I'm concerned, Andrew Tate is just a massive pussy.
He is Max Sam's bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime, like he can set his stipulations. Yeah, I'll do one hand behind my back if he really wants to go. Andrew Tate, he's like half my size. I don't care if he's fucking in the gym every day. I'd fucking eat him. They wouldn't let us fight in like a real fighting organization, Sam, because we're not even close to the same weight class. There's a reason that they don't let that happen, because it becomes a slaughter.
Well, he'd probably fight dirty too. Also,
you ever see Kimbo Slice fighting the little white guy? There's a great video of this.
Yeah.
There's this little white guy trying to fight Kimbo Slice. That's Andrew Tate versus me, bro. He's a little guy. This is why I don't think people take him seriously. He's a little guy with a Napoleon complex. Are you serious? Look, it's okay to be a little man. It's okay. It's okay. But don't have a Napoleon complex about it, because then everybody's laughing at you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I guess my whole thing is
he's a cute little guy, though. I'll give him that.
I mean, he
not like cute sexually, Sam. Like cute like your little cousin that's annoying and he tags along with you, but there's something endearing about how he holds his blankie, That's what Andrew Tate's like. He's like the little snot-nosed crybaby brother, telling you how great he is the whole time, and also he's totally gonna tell mom when he gets home.
Oh yeah, totally. Here's the other thing though. You mentioned that he's not even American, so this is another thing I want. And granted,
I knew that because he's a homosexual.
Well. And granted,
he's allegedly a homosexual, Sam. Allegedly, Andrew Tate is
British.
Well,
if he's British, to me, I allege, that British guys are just homosexuals, and so by that standard, he is allegedly homosexual, Sam.
I mean that by that standard, Max, that is a pretty fair assessment.
Yeah. Allegedly.
You know, there are a few Brits who listen to this program, and they're the only ones that aren't.
Take one for the team to call him gay. You know, it was fine.
Well, Steve Stark, horror author, is. I mean,
oh no, we love our Brits. Like, what would they do without us? You like that? You thought it would be the yeah.
Yeah.
700 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I think everyone should be allowed to read the Bible, even peasants, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been denounced, shouted at, and eventually no platform. 200 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I don't believe in God, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been ridiculed, yelled at. 100 years ago, if someone had come to Oxford and stood here and said, I think a man should be allowed to have sex with another man, that person would have been described as offensive. He would have been booed, hissed at, no platform. So when today's student leaders clamp down on offensive stuff, they're actually carrying on a very long tradition. A tradition whereby the creme de la creme of British society take it upon themselves to police the parameters of acceptable thought and to exclude offensiveness from the academy.
Need to say it's not okay. This hate conversation was not their intention. We understand that jokes are jokes, things are things, but at the end of the day, if it's promoting hate and it's promoting discrimination, you are directly a cause of it if you're allowing it to happen and you're not doing anything about it, and that goes for anyone in this country.
Throughout history, the church, politicians, universities have always branded certain ideas offensive and have waged war against them.
Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Today, student leaders do the same. They carry out one of the oldest, foulest forms of intolerance, intolerance of anyone who gives offense. But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential. Humans have long had the urge to offend against the natural order, the religious order, the moral order, and in the process, they have pushed humanity forward.
A person that comes here and has crowds that go further than any eye can see, there's nobody that can see the end of this crowd. That's not somebody that lost an election, and now because of it, our country is being destroyed.
In fact, pretty much every leap forward in history, pretty much every freedom we enjoy is a product of individuals having given offense.
It costs twice as much to fill my truck up with gas. It costs twice as much to fill my cart up with groceries. Milk, bacon, everything's more expensive. You want to add on to your house, that's all more expensive. That's a direct result of Joe Biden messing up the supply chain.
Having offended against the orthodoxies of their age. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. I know what some student leaders will say. Oh, but our no platforming is about protecting individuals. students. We only want to protect women from misogyny and black students from racism. So our intolerance is progressive. Please, how progressive is it to say that female students are so fragile that they can't cope with seeing a pair of tits in the sun? No, without falling apart. That doesn't sound progressive to me. That sounds paternalistic. How progressive is it to say that black students need these wise, white student leaders to protect them from harmful ideas? Because that doesn't sound progressive to me. That sounds neo-colonialist. The fact is, today's student leaders aren't protecting individuals, they're protecting an idea. And it is the most mainstream status quo idea of the 21st century, the idea of human vulnerability. The poisonous notion that humans are fragile and therefore our speech and our relations must be monitored and policed. It is this misanthropic, orthodox idea that they promote and which they protect from criticism as surely as priests once ring-fenced their beliefs from ridicule. In this choking climate, we have got to move beyond talking about a right to offend. We have to talk about a duty to offend. Anyone who cares for freedom, anyone who believes that humanity only progresses through being daring and disrespectful now has a duty to rile and stir and outrage, a duty to break out of the new grey conformism, a duty to ridicule the new guardians of decency, a duty to tell them, fuck your orthodoxy.
To be fair, I made the female character model with the big titty shake too, because it's
true.
Fun.
Yeah.
And you can make them have a big booty and shake that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's I mean that. Oh wait, Melanie Mack is appalled right now.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
Lady Mack said she learned about Jesus a week ago, Sam. I don't
You know what? When she can learn how to contour her face without making her nose fucking disappear, then I'll give a shit about anything that fucking bitch, fake ass, goth ass hoser that she fucking is, okay? Suck my fucking cock, alright? Melanie Mack.
She was sucking up to Elon like what 2 weeks ago, and then she found out that oh my god, he had a child out of wedlock.
Oh right, talking about.
Oh please, and how many dicks has she sucked out of wedlock? Come on.
Well, judging by her age, it has to be
before or after she found you.
I want to know after, because
you never seen these hoes out there that you sucking cock for Christ? Come on.
Why do you think they're always on their knees?
Church rats? You never heard of those church rats?
Oh,
I got raised Catholic, so I know all about the slutty girls.
So do
really? You gotta stay away from them. They'll tempt you into Satan.
Those Catholic schoolgirls are pretty slutty.
Yeah.
They know the secret around that whole marriage thing.
That's it. And they'll
Jesus can't see if you do it in the back door.
That's what they say. And you know what? It's the back door to hell. Young man. So what we're talking? Oh right, Elon Musk fucked some bitch. Does anybody care?
No.
He's probably a grifter. Does anybody care?
No, except that I met her once, and this is not even the most first I've met.
And that's what I thought of her before I heard this, and then after I heard this, I was like, good for her, I guess. Doesn't affect me.
I, Maxine Sand, present to you the top 10 stupidest programs found by Doge so far.
So far. We have to put so far because, like, who knows?
Yeah.
So, at number 10, we have verifying that children love their pets at $187,000 to make sure that Timmy still loves Lassie.
I could do that for about $5. Sam.
I could do that for 25 cents.
I can do it for a dime.
Yeah, you buy one of them pig ears from like the hardware store. Y'all ever get pig ears for your dogs? Is it just me?
No, I used to do that for your dogs, remember?
And you get them good, because I'm from a farm town, so we got the fresh pig ears, right? And you give the 10 cents to the kid to get him a pig ear, and he gives the pig ear to the dog, and the dog's like, oh, yay! And you're like, oh, he loves them.
Yeah.
That's it. So, yeah, what, 25 cents? Adjust for inflation. Maybe they're $1 now. Probably use 5 of them. I mean, if you want to get a real sample size, like 1,000, what's that going to cost? $1,000? And also, why do we need to confirm that pets and kids love each other? Isn't that just a waste of money?
See, now that's the thing. I tried to look up the stuff on this list, and I honestly have yet to find out, like, the reasoning for any of the things, because I could not find out why they needed to verify that children love their pets. I couldn't find it.
I can answer that. It's called pork barrel spending and nepotism. Number 9.
It's called money laundering.
Yeah, money. I was saying it the nice way.
So at number 9, we have the study of steroid in hamster fighting at $3 million.
Look, steroids, a little more expensive than pig ears. I'll give them that. Also, if you're gonna have hamsters fight, I totally get why you would give them steroids. However,
you want them to Hulk out?
Well, like you're fighting them. Like, you think they wouldn't give gladiators steroids in the Roman Coliseum? They give them to WWE wrestlers. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Especially at AEW. Oh. Anyway, yeah, steroids.
So it's the first rule: don't talk about Hamster Fight Club.
Yeah, you don't talk about Hamster Fight Club, and you especially don't talk about the steroids at Hamster Fight Club, and also all the guys who just took that money and put it in their pocket.
Yeah, and somewhere there, that money could have gone to help a disabled veteran or something like that. But we won't talk about that.
No, we have to know what happens with hamsters when you pump them full of steroids and then you put them in the ring and it's just ding, 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 ding.
Hamster mania,
like,
running wild.
Finish him.
Let me tell you something, hamster dudes. Tonight's main event is going to be off the chain.
Okay.
Now, here's what I want to know. Do you think Joe Biden would watch the hamster fights?
Of course.
Oh, of course.
Hold on. Now it all makes sense. That's how they kept him busy the whole 4 years. They had a hamster fight club in the White House. Number 8.
And his partner was Michael Vick.
Aww. Number 8. It's a short one. Parrot romance, as in the bird, at $600,000.
What do you suppose parrots in love talk about? Because if it was the parrot I had as a kid and another parrot, I imagine the conversation would go something like this. Shut up! Fuck you! Shut up! Fuck you!
No. It's going to be like, I want to fertilize your eggs.
All right, that was really stupid. I apologize for that.
Were the African gray parrots though? I have to ask on behalf of more.
Just parrots.
Right? Where's my blue pill? Also, like, they don't fuck, right? Birds, they fertilize.
No, that's why I said that they fertilize the eggs. So, I mean,
Number 7.
Yeah.
The money well spent, by the way.
Number 7, study of cocaine effects on beagles at $2.3 million.
Headed up by Fauci.
Now.
So that's the excuse that that Hunter was using to bring cocaine into the White House. It all makes sense. Oh no, Secret Service man, this isn't my cocaine. This is for the Beagle study.
Hunter's running up on the White House lawn with like 20 beagles. Anyway, I haven't talked about this yet, Sam.
It all makes sense now.
I had a beagle, and I'm telling you, it wouldn't cost that much to study, because when my brother had parties, sometimes his friends would get a little wild and they'd break out a line, you know? I'm not a guy, I never touch the stuff, but sometimes that happened, right? Not with the beagle around. His name was Snoopy, and he'd just run up right on the table and be like, yeah! And he'd start howling at the moon and shit. He also would make you blow pot smoke in his face.
It's true.
Like, in an uncomfortable, like, if you're
That's
smoking,
hilarious.
if we're passing a blunt around, he comes up and puts his head in your lap at first, like, and if you don't get his point, he, like, starts putting at the blunt, you know, like, and then eventually somebody else there will be like, no, he wants you to, and then he'd fucking go lay down and just, like, kick his leg and be, like, happy as a fucking clam. That dog loves to party.
Yeah, he did.
And so I don't think you need to study it very much to know that if you give a beagle cocaine, he's going to howl at the moon. How much did that cost?
That was $2.3 million.
$2.3 million, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so now we know what Hunter's coke budget was. Then got it.
Well, that was just for the Wednesday that he was there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Number 6.
Number 6.
And this one, it's real humanitarian work, right? Number 6, encouraging Ethiopians to wear shoes at $2.1 million.
They should probably wear shoes. I don't know about the price tag.
But if they haven't put shoes on at this point, I don't think we need to keep.
We just need to
spending money.
throw more money at it.
I mean, how long has Ethiopia been a country?
I mean, just
is it a country, Sam?
If they wear them, they wear them. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, I mean, Mort and I could tell them to do it for free. Look, Mort and I would say people don't want to see crippled feet, bare crippled feet. Why would people want to see, bare Ethiopian feet?
I don't know.
No.
Are they not wearing shoes? Like, maybe the premise is even false, right? Maybe they are wearing shoes and we're just throwing money at nothing. We don't even know.
We're ignorant Americans. Go figure.
Again, money laundering, but yeah.
Yeah, somebody ask an AI, do Ethiopians wear shoes? Like, I don't know. Maybe not. What are we on now? Number 5?
Yeah, number 5.
Number 5.
Oh my God! Wait. While Ethiopians do wear shoes, particularly in urban areas, it's important to note that depending on the region, some word I don't know, status and situation, many people in rural Ethiopia may not wear shoes regularly. But they do wear shoes.
Well, then we should spend what? How many millions on trying to make them?
2.1 million.
Yeah, obviously, that's the solution.
Also, I asked Grok, yes, Ethiopians do wear shoes. Footwear is commonly used across Ethiopia.
So there we go.
Yeah. How much was spent on wheelchairs for actual disabled Americans?
$0.
Yeah. Number 5.
So this is a good one. Number 5. Racial aggression in mice at $500,000.
Well, how do they discern mouse race?
I would assume by color.
But
Like
isn't
brown
that-
mice, white mice, black mice, mixed mice.
And so they're trying to like get them to fight based on. So they're making.
They're making racist mice.
They're making. Hold on. They're making mouse prison gangs based on ethnicity.
Yes.
And how much?
$500,000.
Well, yeah, we should definitely be spending that money. Mm-hmm. Again, how much was spent on wheelchairs for? Never mind. Number 4.
So number 4. Study Russian cats on treadmills at $2.7 million.
Wait.
Hold on.
That's
why
hold
Russian
on.
cats? Why not American cats?
Well,
I don't know.
The important part, Sam, is we now know what they do once they make the mice racist. They're training cats. Russian cats, you know? Maybe it's more like it's like that hamster fight club. Now they're just doing it with Russian cats versus racist mice. At to the tune of what? $4 million combined. Let's go.
It all ties together.
It's all a cohesive unit. What do we got? Well, number 3.
It gets even better with number 3.
Okay, let's go. Number 3.
Number 3. Training mice to binge drink at $1.1 million.
That's how you get them racist. You get them nice and drunk. You tell them, oh, those mice over there are starting some shit. You see the black ones?
Yeah.
And then when it's done, and you
We're
have
gonna
the
take your
big
drink.
racist drunken mouse bar brawl, you have a Russian cat come in and just clean the shit up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the parrot lovers are watching, just commentating.
You know what? The sad thing is
We got through the first sheet.
She got a 2-pager this week, Sam, so.
Oh, man.
Page 2. Number 2.
Oh, God. Number 2, sex changes in Guatemala at $2 million.
$2 million for sex changes in Guatemala.
But
then
no wheelchairs
but
for
still no
Americans.
Huh?
Yeah, you guys both
Yo, we're
talk.
talking at once.
We said
Okay.
but still no wheelchairs.
Yeah, still no wheelchairs for Americans or disabled
Right.
veterans.
Yeah.
But Guatemalans, sex changes.
Well, think about that. They're taking a step out of their normal process. See, we know they're importing voters, right? But like they know they really got you once you've already got the trans surgery. What are you going to do? Vote Republican? So they get them there.
Yeah.
So they can bring them here, and they're already pre-trans. They're pre-transing for the illegals that they're planning to bring in.
Gotcha.
That's so that they can have them officiate this big racist mouse bar brawl. And with that, I believe we've reached number 1 most stupid, idiotic, ridiculous waste of your tax money found by Doge so far.
Give me the paper.
What paper?
I'm going to do the thing that you normally do.
What's
We're
the
gonna
thing?
do
Oh, you're
this
going to
right.
read them back. She's going to read
We're
them
going to
back.
read them back.
Okay, we're going to read them back. Cue that drum roll again, Sam, because we're going to need it.
Okay, yeah, starting at number 10.
So, number 10, verifying that children love their pets at $187,000. Number 9, the study of steroid in hamster fighting at $3 million. Number 8, parrot romance, as in the bird, at $600,000. Number 7, study of volcano effects on beagles at $2.3 million. Number 6, encouraging Ethiopians to wear shoes at $2.1 million, even though they already wear shoes. Number 5, racial aggression in mice at $500,000. Number 4, study of Russian cats on treadmills at $2.7 million. Number 3, training mice to binge drink at $1.1 million.
And the number 1.
Number 2, sex changes in Guatemala at
How
$2
could I-
million. How could you forget that one?
How could I forget the sex changes in Guatemala, Sam?
How could you?
And
Because we all have
the number 1 most stupid, idiotic, retarded program found by Doge so far.
The effects of cocaine on quails when they mate at $875,000.
Yeah. Quail fucking.
That don't even fuck.
So we have not one but 2 methods for Hunter to just on his cocaine use in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I mean, why do you
and
think these
quails?
programs are there?
Quails.
Quails.
When they are doping quails up on cocaine, and then just they don't actually have sex.
So the male quail.
So it's just when they're doing their mating dance, so they're just like, bleh!
No, hold on. You gotta think this through. The female quail would help with laying an egg, right? Did you give her the coke? And she's just gonna and then the male quail comes in all coked up and shoots his serpent sperm onto the egg, right? Because he's all like, yeah. How much? $800,000? You say?
$875,000.
And $0 for cripple Americans wheelchairs. Oh, that's
So what I want to know is does Hunter smuggle his cocaine in in the quails or do the bee?
He's going undercover as a zookeeper now. And he just takes all these animals and he's like, yeah, this is just their medicine. He's just coking up all the beagles and the quails and the fucking parrots and the fucking mice. Hunter is like crackhead Dr. Doolittle. Don't you understand, Sam?
Yes, literally.
So big shout out to my wife for guesting this week, doing the Tad list. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Look, I'm not here for my fucking my extensive educational background. I'm a cornball. I'm a goof.
And yet even being a clown, you're smarter than a lot of the college educated out there. But I digress. We have a list to get to, Max. So let's hear it.
No one will agree with you after this list, Sam. This is the I didn't even say the title yet on air. Oh, it's gonna go. It's gonna go great. This is the top 10. Oh shit, I gotta have a top 10 list. Shit. I didn't have one last weekend, I promised. I am letting everyone down. Oh god. Okay. Top 10 stupidest things I can think of with 15 minutes until the show that might make Sam laugh or get me fired as co-host or both. But either way, we'll get a pop.
Well, it got an applause from the studio audience, so can't be that bad.
Yeah, that's because you knew the title before, but just wait until we get to number 10. Imagine suing your wife. LOL.
Who would do that?
Who would do that? That's so stupid. Number 9 of things I shouldn't fucking say. Sam's PCP habit.
Oh, I blame Shmuley for that entirely.
Well, I mean, look, that's what he does. He gives you one free and you get hooked. Number 8, Mortheous killing Nazis on the moon or pussy or both.
I
believe the 5th.
I hear sometimes he slays pussy on the moon.
That's tough to do. Well, it's probably better for you guys, though.
I save pussy from the Nazis.
I mean, look, cripple sex is probably easier on the moon. I'm just saying. Because regular sex is probably easier on the moon.
I cannot confirm nor deny that, Max.
Midget sex, harder on the moon, right? Because they might fly into orbit.
Yeah,
that's not on the list. That one's a freebie, Sam. That's a bonus. Number 7, Fartomania, brother. That was a good time.
You know, that whole
should be higher on the list.
I do want to point out that show did get like over 246 views.
I know.
The last time I checked out. So clearly it was entertaining. Even to me, it was
informative.
Yes. And it spawned Batman, a meme of Batman eating Cheerios or
beans, Sam. Why would he? Fart related. He's eating beans. Never mind. I ain't gonna say that one. That shouldn't be on the. Oh man, I almost said that one. Number 6. The things I shouldn't mention on the air because it might make Sam mad, but also laugh. This is probably a big one. This should be number 1, I think. But anyway, that one time Sam farted on stream and no one mentioned it, but it was like loud. And like, I'm pretty sure he smelled it too because he made a sour face.
I played the 5th.
Mm-hmm. Well, the audience knows what I mean. We all laughed.
Of course they do.
No one mentioned it until now. Number 5, this is just because, hey, in case I get fired, I got to make sure to shout out to my literal actual best friend in the world and homie, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Much love. Judgment Day forever. I'm getting my Judgment Day membership, Sam. They were accepting new members. See, Penta, he said no. And so my boy called me up. He's like, yo, we need a new member. And yeah, so you'll see. Anyway, we're going to kick Finn out, though, because, like, what a fucking bitch. He's no fun. Like, Carlito's fun. Dom is fun. The ladies might kill you, so you can't kick them out. Anyway. What was it? Number 5 was that. Number 4, confession. I talk over Sam all the time, and I say he's in on it, but actually, it's a malicious plan to piss off that one guy in the audience who keeps bitching about it just the way he thinks it is. Yes, it is a conspiracy. Ha 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 ha. And now it's too late. Shmuley, unleash the doomsday device. Ha 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 ha. Evil laugh.
LOL.
Number 3. Shmuley is the cheapest CEO in media, and he cut the budget for our doomsday machine because he hates fun and he hates funny. Boo Shmuley.
Can confirm. Boo Shmuley.
Boo. Hold on. Hold on.
Wow,
I'm getting-
even
hold
even
on.
more.
I got. Okay. Yeah. All right. Never mind. Number 2. Shmuley is the man, and I am legally and contractually obligated, now required, to say he is not cheap. His spending habits are tremendous. No one spends more than him. He's the best. Literally, the best guy in the whole world is CEO Shmuley.
Max, it's okay. You know, blink if you're in trouble, and we'll, you know, I'll send Zach James or one of my other badass, you know, author friends to save you from
You
Shmuley.
can't save anyone from Shmuley, Sam. Haven't you figured this out yet?
Well,
And
Max,
the number
I
one, we
would
read
try.
them back. We read these back. We read them back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the top 10. Oh shit, I gotta have a top 10 list. Shit. I didn't have one last week, and I promised I am letting everyone down. Oh god. Okay. Top 10 stupid things I can think of with 15 minutes until the show that might make Sam laugh or get me fired as co-host, or both. But either way, we'll get a pop. Number 10. Imagine suing your wife, LOL. Number 9, Sam's PCP habit. Number 8, Mortheous killing Nazis on the moon, or pussy, or both. Number 7, fartomania, brother. Number 6, that one time Sam farted on stream and no one mentioned it, but it was loud. And like, I'm pretty sure he smelled it too because he made a sour face.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, shout out to my literal actual best friend and homie, Dom Mysterio. Much love. Number 4, confession. I talk over Sam all the time and I say he's in on it, but actually it's a malicious plan to piss off that one guy in the audience who keeps bitching about it just like he thinks it is. Yes, it is a conspiracy. Ha 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 ha. And now it's too late. Shmuley unleashed the doomsday machine. Ha ha ha. Number 3, Shmuley is the cheapest CEO in media and he cut the budget for our doomsday machine. That one's real, Sam, by the way. Anything you think is bullshit in here, that one's real. Shmuley, you motherfucker, you cut the doomsday machine budget. And I'm going to see you at Fartomania. Anyway, because he hates fun and he hates funny. Boo, Shmuley. Boo.
Boo.
Number 2, Shmuley is the man. And I am legally and contractually now required to say he is not cheap and his spending habits are tremendous. No one spends more than him. The best. Literally the best guy in the whole world. And number 1, Sam, of things that I'm going to do because I had to make a list. Gay pornography. Got him. 420 blaze it, homie.
Of course it was gay pornography.
Of course it was gay.
It was always going to be gay pornography.
You knew it from the beginning.
Why would we expect anything else but gay pornography?
That's right, because it's 2025.
And also, but gay pornography is pretty gay too.
But is it so gay that it comes back around? Sorry. No.